Last time, the People's Hand fought tooth and nail for the survival of Venora, safety of Gertrude, and justice for the people of Fort Trinity. As the fight seemed most dire and dangerous, Lumen made an incredibly unintimidating yet surprisingly accurate false claim. "There are guards outside," or something to that effect, as seconds later High Commander Trake and his men burst through the front door with a few healing potions as promised and some much-needed support to our heroes. A harrowing victory, the People's Hand put a stop to Ransom Larch's subterfuge and shenanigans once and for all. Searching the house, they come across a fair amount of coin, some uniquely better weaponry, a fairly condemning letter in Larch's possession, and the promise of a 1,000 gold bounty for putting a stop to Larch's criminal allies. We now pick up mid-morning, our heroes each tending to their wounds after having just woken from a much-needed long rest in the manor where they just fought for their lives. And for some, strange dreams of things just out of grasp plague their waking thoughts. You are all level 5. What would you like to do with your day?
I want to look at Larch's spellbook and the scroll that I took off of his.
I want to check on Venora. See if she's still alive.
I want to make a sandwich for me and Titus.
Okay, you want to go ransack the kitchen, see if you can find some sandwich stuff?
Yes.
Okay. I'll say with relative ease, you check the storehouses and stuff, there's stuff to make some sandwiches. And so Ghibli gets started on sandwich creation. So it's mid-morning, like it's not early. You guys were fighting well into the night last night. And so at this point, it's probably like already closing in on noon. What were the other prompts there? I just focused on the sandwich one.
I found a spellbook from Larch.
I was going to check on Venora.
Okay.
See how she was faring.
Okay. So I'm assuming you were all kind of sleeping in various rooms, but Holik, your mind's still kind of plagued with these strange waking thoughts. You walk into the other room where Venora is sleeping. You see, just looking at her, she's kind of, I'm assuming, like partially leaning up against a wall. Raspy breaths you see already now. These dark black bruises across her face and down her arms. With each breath, there's kind of a little bit of something that hurts when she seems to breathe in, like to fully expand her lungs. She's like as close to death as you can be, it seems, without being dead, after taking a beating.
I'm gonna give Venora a health potion.
You're gonna give her a health potion? Or you're gonna... Okay, so as you're...
Waterboard her?
I want to give it to her.
As Holik is approaching, you see Edovard kind of silently swoop in, pour in a health potion.
I'm gonna give it to her.
You're not gonna,
give it to
you're just handing her a health potion. Okay.
I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, I wasn't going to wake her up. I was going to...
She's not asleep.
Oh.
Dead asleep, crap.
That's up to Lexi if she's asleep or not.
I don't think I slept very much last night. I probably just leaning up against the
So you're
wall,
saying you didn't
looking
take a
at
long
my
rest?
phone. I did.
I'm just kidding.
How'd you sleep last night, Holik?
Not great, but that's not really important compared to how are you feeling?
A little bit better than last night, but not. It's gonna be a long trip to the next town. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna do cure wounds just to like.
You're
'cause
using
I
the
can
spell?
do that now. Yeah.
Okay. So you put your hand on her shoulder, and as you watch this frost appear along, extending on his arm, and then from his hand into your shoulder, where you're expecting this biting cold, instead you are met with this immediate soothing, like a cough drop, you know, that like soothing cold that courses through your body. It's like, it's not icy and painful, but it is just this calming, soothing feeling. Other than that, no effect. I mean, you were fully healed, right, from the long rest, so.
It felt good. I don't know if it did much for like my ribs, but I think it's just going to take a little bit to heal up after this.
I'd like to read the scroll and the spellbook that I got from Larch.
Okay. Are you spending some time to try and identify the scroll?
Yes. In fact, I'll spend some time with it.
Okay. Make an Arcana check.
What is this scroll? 18.
I will say with just an Arcana check, you're going to have to spend like an hour with it. otherwise. Do you want to spend that?
No.
Okay. The Arcana check, I will say you get the School of Magic. Because, here, give me 1 second. That's your cue, Jared.
I refrain. I've evolved.
Edovard, you spend some time studying this scroll. As you do, certain glyphs begin to pop out to you. There's a theme across this, and it is evoking the type of magic that is most often used in combat, healing, things of that nature. And so you gather the school must be evocation.
Evocation?
Evocation is more better described, I would assume, in like outwardly expressing something through magic. Because it's not always combat, right? So you are outwardly expressing through magic.
And the book?
The book,
Yeah.
flipping through it, you find 8 spells. So I'll say you're going to need to spend some time with this, searching through it. But depending on the Arcana check, we'll see how many of them you get. Okay? So write down that there are 8 total spells in this. Roll an Arcana check. And how much time are you dedicating to studying this?
An hour or 2.
Okay.
7.
17. Since you're choosing to do a substantially longer amount of time on this than you did the scroll, which I would have let you identify what the scroll spell was if you'd spent more time on it, you find one of them to be a spell that you've heard by the name of Alarm, setting up a specific area. You've seen Holic do this based on your understanding of what these runes might accomplish, interwoven in this specific order. You would imagine that this is what it would do.
Okay.
Another one, which seems to be evoking like various forms of harm in different variations depending on a specific decision at a specific moment, varying in color, and it is spherical. And kind of putting these pieces together, you gather what it would do. I'll just tell you the name of the spell, Chromatic Orb. Another one, this one is seems to allow the user to understand anything that anyone is speaking. It's comprehend languages. Another one, to create a magical barrier on something. Not barrier, but a magical lock. So arcane lock.
Ooh.
You find one that you are pretty familiar with just in how often it gets used for most low-level magical practitioners. Detect magic. That one is the easiest one to identify on there. This one is kind of difficult to construct in your head because the concept of it is strange to you. And it's almost as if the runes themselves are obscuring themselves from you. And as you finally do crack it, the way this spell works seems to kind of cloud your appearance to other people and make you harder to be seen. It is blur. And then this last one seems to be a fairly powerful spell. One in which you can designate a specific area to be a field of intense danger and hyper-localized pain. Almost as if shrapnel. Reality shifts and shrapnel appears in a localized spot to tear things to shred. It is Cloud of Daggers.
That's a good spell. I love that spell.
Very nice.
So the last one, you're doing your best, and as you're looking at it, this one does appear to be just beyond your level of comprehension.
Yeah.
And I will say, looking at the other pages, as well as the script on them, seems to have seen some use, in the sense that if Larch was using this book, he had studied over those ones, maybe traced them by putting a page over it and kind of trying to trace the glyphs to understand them. This last one seems to have seen like no use.
Interesting.
Well, I'll be going into town and trying to sell some things and then preparing a care package for my boy Rickton.
Are you just leaving right now, or are you waiting for everybody else?
Well, I can eat breakfast with the sandwich boys.
I need to find
And then I'm going to go and try to sell 2 great swords, 2 warhammers, a javelin, and 4 chainmail. And then I'm also going to try to see if someone can fix that plate armor and how long it would
I'm
take.
not going to remember all those things.
I need you to remember that.
Let's do one thing at a time. If you want to leave and do all that, make sure that you guys are all done here, because I'm assuming you're all going to leave together.
That would be best case.
I want to find Lumen.
Best case scenario.
And then kind of go off to where it's just us two, kind of private.
Okay.
And then
So, Lumen, would you let Titus guide you away from the group?
oh yeah,
Okay.
I can have some sort of plant with me if that entices you.
Delicious.
At least a flower, not plant.
Hey Lumen, I was wondering if I showed you something, if you could identify it and tell me like what it does,
Certainly.
and then I'll hand him the Larch potion that I took.
You said Lark potion?
Yeah, that's dark red.
Oh, that one. I see what you're saying. But it wasn't on Lark's body, right? It was on the big dude's body. Yeah.
No, it was in his safe.
Yeah.
It was in his safe.
It was when you're sneaking.
Yeah.
That would make
I
more
snuck
sense.
it, and I think Clonus. No, Oleg saw me pocket it.
Holic did. Clonus can't see it.
Yeah, it would be really surprising if Clonus saw it and Holic did.
Is there a garden or like herb location, like a herb garden on the like mansion property?
Just outside the window for the kitchen, like on the sill on the outside, there's just this small little garden bed that has some herbs and stuff growing in it, yeah.
Can I see if there's mistletoe or spruce?
Sure, make an whatever it's called.
Nature?
Investigation check.
Investigation? Cool.
Okay, so Jarrett, what you were asking.
Sorry.
Are you doing a...
Yes.
Okay. So this is the one that you found in the vault. Are you casting Identify or using it ritually?
Ritually.
Okay. So identifying it, obviously this is the same thing, but this is known as a filter of the Paragon. It is a dark blood red liquid with a strange mercurial swirl within it. And immediately, these images flash through your mind. You see a large, dark cavern. And along the base of the opening to this cavern, in which you know within it is this massive cavern, but you can't see it, but you understand it to be huge. You see strange, as if like the night sky with sparkling stars through it, this fog rolling out of the base of this cavern. And then your vision shifts, and you are standing beneath this colossal being. And then your vision shifts again, and you are standing near what looks like just this pulsating, like a vein with light pulsating from one end to the other. And then as it reaches one end, you see this like kind of explosion, like stars. And then you like snap back out of your body, and you see where you're looking at where you were once standing. There's this half circle of robed individuals, and they kneel before this like strange pulsing light that is exploding on two ends, and they are chanting in this language that you do not recognize. And as they are, these like runic glyphs and letters are kind of forming above them, as if whatever they're speaking is forming into these letters above their head. And then the energy pulsing in front of them kind of coalesces into those glyphs above them, and then crashes down to the ground. And then you come back and you're standing in front of Titus. You know the name, and through those strange visions, you just instinctively understand something about this. It is known as the filter of the Paragon. It seems to be drawn from a being of significant power, and in some way has been altered. As an action, you may drink it, and your two highest ability score stats increase by 2 each. And in addition, you may increase your movement speed by 10 feet. May is an important thing on there. It does not automatically happen. The transformation lasts for 1 hour, and at the end of the hour, you must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or suffer a level of exhaustion, and your maximum hit points are reduced by 1 hit die, and you're poisoned for 24 hours.
Jeez.
Did I pass that?
You did.
Okay, good. Like, I don't remember rolling for that. Jeez.
Easy.
Dang.
So your 2 highest ability scores increase by 2 each, and they can increase beyond 20. You increase your movement speed by 10 for an hour, and at the end of the hour, if you fail the save, you get a level of exhaustion, your maximum hit points are reduced by 1 hit die, and you're poisoned for 24 hours. That's what it does.
Do I recognize this being from any textbooks or anything that I've studied for maybe different gods or...
You can either make a religion or a history check. That'll determine... It depends on what kind of thing you're trying to figure out. Do you think it might be divine in nature? Or do you want to... Maybe there'll be some historical knowledge. Depending on which one you roll, I will give you different knowledge if you roll high enough.
Roll it, roll it.
Is there any identifying markings or anything that... Like, what does the bottle look exactly?
The bottle? It is just this, like, crystal vial, like, maybe 4 inches long, not even an inch wide. It's just this, like, thin little vial with this dark blood red liquid. I believe it's... Yeah, it's a dark blood red liquid with a strange mercurial swirl. So there's just kind of, like, strange swirl through it, almost like mercury.
I'll do religion.
Religion? Okay.
Did I guide myself?
Sure.
13 plus 9 plus 13.
25. Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
You succeeded on what's considered a very hard DC. The next level is considered nearly impossible, so well done.
It's been 10 minutes of sitting here staring at this
Yeah.
thing, so...
You look at it, racking your brain, all the many, many texts over the years that you have poured over and dedicated a large portion of your life to understanding. It is only fitting that something of this nature has found its way to you, because you are uniquely equipped to know things about it. You have spent so much time of your life doing what other people have considered to be a waste of time and useless book knowledge, reading about every single little, like, maybe god that somebody out there on the outskirts of Timbuktu worships, to, you know, the big religions and to the vast pantheon of the world. But something about this seems familiar. And it's just so weirdly, like, cryptic, but you know you've read something about it. And your mind keeps going to those glyphs you saw above their heads. And the nature of whatever this is, there's something dark and cosmic about it. But at its core, it feels like blood magic. And it looks like blood, but it feels like this gross, dirty, ritualistic magic. Your mind goes to what was his name?
Sure.
No, the other horse, Crud or Cud?
Crumb.
What Crumb said to you about it? About the fact that his master gave him blood? Kind of connecting some dots. Your mind goes to the priests and priestesses of Sugrami. There's a deity who's not some Timbuktu out there random maybe god. She is a verifiable goddess.
Questionable.
You're not here.
She's not commonly worshipped, but she is significant enough that there is known power to be found there. I will give you, since you rolled so well, I will give you just the information I have on her.
How do you spell her name?
Sugrami. She's known as Sugrami Bloodbathed. What you know of her is that she revels in her followers' devotion to hierarchy by combat and her constant trials by blood. Her character is often exhibited and depicted in the owlbear storming a rabbit's den and rending them limb to limb. She's the fierce and fearless raptor, a predator unmatched and without mercy. To chase and to terrify is to worship Sagrami. To kill is to grow in her faith, and to bathe in the spoils is to find enlightenment. Her hunger is not for death, but for the practice of the kill.
Seems like a reasonable goddess.
And you said it was also altered, right?
So, your mind goes to the priests and priestesses of Sagrami and what they are known to practice, which is the manipulation of the blood of powerful beings. You seem to have identified that through what you don't know the power, you don't know what the being is, but you do imagine that altering that you identified in it seems to be some sort of ritual done by the priests or priestesses of Sagrami to the blood of some powerful being that is being manipulated to create this. Or maybe being refined to create this. So whatever that pulsating light that was before them seems to be what they are refining or refining this blood in. And that is what you gather. And that is a little bit of the map, these constellations you start to put together and understand.
That's cool.
But you do know, whatever this is, it is presumably the same thing that the red scarf guy was using. And that is kind of how you crack this. Like, just things start to kind of piece together as you go. That was eerily reminiscent of the Sagrami priests. And then you go, oh, blood rituals and blood refinement. That is right within their character. And then you went back to what Crumb said about being given blood to give him strength and to push him forward. And it all kind of clicks.
And this is why he ran by so fast when we were just...
Yes.
That's cool.
But what it does is the increase 2 ability scores by 2 beyond. It can go beyond 20, and then increases your movement speed by 10, and then it has those negative side effects if you fail that DC con save, DC 15 con save. There you go, and you've got one vial of it. I don't think anybody else has any, but Titus has one, right?
Thank you, Lumen. If you could keep this between us, I'm gonna try and hold on to this in case we run into that fire guy again.
Sounds good.
Don't bring it up this evening.
That's all I had.
Okay. You guys have anything else at the manor that you guys want to do? Oh, your investigation check real quick, Holik. What'd you roll?
20.
20? Okay. And you're looking for saffron or something?
Mistletoe and spruce.
Mistletoe and spruce. Spruce is a tree.
Spruce is a tree.
So
I realize that, but
I'll say
if there's mistletoe.
For whatever reason, this kitchen seems to be growing some mistletoe, which is weird. But you find some mistletoe.
A spruce growing in the kitchen?
There's not a spruce tree growing in the kitchen. No. What do you need from a spruce tree? It just says spruce.
I need a sprig of spruce.
Oh, it's like a little twig.
Yeah, I just need a twig of spruce.
Good hardy spruce wood.
That's why there's no forest
Well, there's
left.
all kinds of trees outside.
Yeah, you're in a forest, as we've established. They are not in a forest, listener. They are literally in the plains of Kansas.
I hate the
Plain
plains.
Kansas.
It's because
Give
of
me the trees.
the start of the camp.
I'm gonna go to Venora and do a prayer of healing, not the spell prayer of healing, but I'm gonna pray for her healing. Are you still lying down?
I'm just sitting up in my bed.
Oh, you're sitting in your bed. So you're kind of like a captive audience.
Yeah.
She's captive.
So I'm gonna ask if I feared for you last night, Venora. Will you hold my hand?
Yeah.
I don't know if this will work at all, but he'll make to surprises us sometimes. Will you pray with me?
Absolutely.
I already start praying before you answer. He'll make a god of suffering. This woman of great wit has learned her lesson, and we hope that she can live to learn them again. So please, take the pain from her, and if you will, give it to me, Ilmater, in your name. And then I'll try to at least take... You said she's got at least the physical pain. I'm going to use my channel divinity to take the pain.
Which replicates what spell again?
Lesser restoration at this point.
Okay.
Level 7, greater restoration.
Jeez.
Really?
So not yet.
Not yet.
Right. Hope he does.
I will say, with that, you feel whatever soothing that was given to you by Hulik has now worn off. But a similar feeling returns, but it is more lasting as you watch kind of just the bruising on your arms slowly fade, and then on Cephas's arms in the same places, bruises appear, and there's a moment of flinch as Cephas, you do feel pain begin to rack your body. And it's from this, like, you're bruised and sore from the fight yesterday, but you did all right. And now all of a sudden it's like you're hit by
A
wagon.
Okay. I'm sorry, wagon.
Yeah, there you go. I almost said a truck.
A freight truck.
Yeah, a freight wagon.
Yeah.
A caravan.
Yeah, there you go.
The whole caravan.
Yeah,
Wagon train.
a freight caravan. And some of the things that we talked about you having a difficulty walking, right? Like half your movement speed or whatever. I don't know, what was it we said? I think it was half your movement speed. I'll say a portion of that is just due to the sheer pain it is to walk, and then the other parts is just like you're unable to do it because of your strength. We'll change that, and instead of being half your movement speed, you're now just 10 feet less than your normal movement speed, so you gained 5 feet back, basically. I mean, as far as a roleplay standpoint, you do just feel 70% of your fathomable pain that you're experiencing right now just wash away. There's still a little bit of soreness, but it's like a bad day that you've had before. And now it puts into perspective just how bad you really felt. Because now you're like, oh, this is like the worst I've ever been beaten before, is now what I feel like, you know? And then Cephas, this is like 50% of what you felt before. There are days that you think back to, and this is pretty painful.
Yeah.
But Elmater has uniquely equipped you to be able to withstand it. He has allowed you to suffer worse so that you can suffer this. I will say you just suffer a 5 movement speed debuff.
Split mine.
Nice. It's okay. It's okay.
But you do feel bruised and beaten. It's difficult to breathe.
I'm not going to let her know that.
I hope
How did you?
you feel better, Venora.
I can see the bruises. You can't.
Yeah, I mean,
hide.
as you're looking at him as he's saying
Most of
this,
these I already had.
and as he says that, you watch his lower jaw and his eye just swell up with a bruise on each on each of those spots.
Seasonal allergies, I think.
He doesn't notice that they're there. It's just like you're looking at him as he's saying this, and bruises are appearing. They're appearing on his face.
Do you always feel that pain as much as the person is who you're taking it from? I just thought you took it. I never realized you were actually inflicting it on yourself.
You always feel better when you take the pain of someone else. I promise you that, Venora.
I definitely.
I hand you a track, Ilmater.
You've got like 5 at this point.
Wait. Is that one written by me or by Colin?
Did you help me
Can
make
you
Well,
read
is it in crayon or is it in ink?
This one's in crayon, and I put it by the one that's in ink in my pocket.
I get the kids menu at every place we go just so I can get the crayons.
You've got a colouring book.
Thank you so much. I feel amazing compared to what I did.
Well, we need you.
I'm going to go outside and also start my summoning steed.
Sure.
We want to hold hands when we do it.
Yeah. So like, we're both gonna help each other because I know Cephas needs a little help sometimes. In a lot of ways. And it's good to help out a friend.
So as you guys are walking out, the front door shut behind you, and Clonus, I'll say, I guess you're not the most perceptive, but you do know each other fairly well at this point, and you see just the slightest kind of limp in Cephas's gait now. It's not substantial. It's not nearly as bad as Venora was, like, unable to walk, you know, for the most part. But you see, like, he's a little more hurt since this experience with Venora than he was before.
He's weak.
Hey, Cephas, how you doing? And I give him like a little nudge on the shoulder, just to see if he's bruised there.
Oh yeah,
Kind
You're
of
bruised,
ribbing
yeah.
him, but not like trying to massively hurt him.
Well, I'm doing all right.
He knows that I winced in pain, so then I'm gonna slap him in the back real hard.
Close falls on his face.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it like that. But okay.
But now Cephas can't outrun Clonus.
It's true. You look like you're a little slower.
Well, let's go outside and summon our steeds.
That would help us. Yes.
You should get a goat.
What?
It's about your size.
That's about your size.
Okay.
So I will say this. What is going through each of your minds as there is newfound power within you that you did not know you had? Kind of explain the reasoning behind why you've reached the destination that is you're deciding to try and summon a creature. And it might be different for each of you.
Oh, I knew when I woke up that I had like a bond with something that beyond me. Like Ilmater came in my sleeping dreams, riding in on a white horse. As there's these other 4 horsemen that were in this grand, I don't know, it almost felt like, in my mind, it almost felt like the end of the world.
Right.
And there were these 4 evil horsemen, but I just remember Ilmater coming in on this white steed, and I knew, the moment I saw it, I knew, like, I can help him with my steed, right? And I knew so I kind of woke up that morning just like,
I can call this creature.
right? And so that was me.
Clonus?
Clonus wishes he had such a cool story. So
You were scaring goats and they were falling over. But one didn't. In your dream, one didn't fall.
And it doesn't have to be a dream or vision. I'm just curious because there is an element of the game.
Like the knowledge that my God seeks. I am trying to be able to pass it along and give it to new people. And I know from my short stature and from my little bit of girth, I'm not the quickest. I'm not the most expedient in traveling. So I'm going to hope and pray to my God that and use this ability that I feel like I have now to summon whatever my deity thinks would be the best mode of transportation for me.
Okay.
Now, Byron already knows what he's getting.
Right.
But Clonus is trying to summon something along those lines.
So the two of you step outside. As you kneel down, side by side, each reaching within for some element of divine power that has been granted to you. And you begin this channeling, this 10-minute concentration where you are forming a link with what you believe to be something in another plane of existence that is calling to you. And Cephas, you can feel out there this white stallion as it is riding away
mine's
from
gray.
Ilmater. Oh, yours is going to be gray?
Yeah, I could never get a white one. That's
you
not
feel
mine.
as
That's
this
Ilmater's.
gray stallion is galloping away from Ilmater and draws closer and closer to you. And Clonus, as you sit there,
This is a bus.
Clonus, you sit there as you picture the vastness of Cerebrin's mind, the absolute grandeur that is his wit and his capability of storytelling. And you watch as he writes into this chapter of your story something to bolster you. As you can connect with an aspect of his mind, he is granting you power, and you can feel that connection growing stronger. And after 10 minutes, this kind of strange mist coalesces into existence as a gray stallion comes trotting into view, and Cephas running right up to you. And Clonus, kneeling before you, kind of shaking the dew off of its back as it looks up at you, you see this ram. These spiraled horns, like reaching behind it. It is massive compared to other rams, but the perfect size for a chunky dwarf.
Yes, I like this power.
I will call you Il Mounter.
And then I get on my ill mount.
Okay, you hoist yourself up. And then the goat looks up at you, or the ram looks up at you, and you hear mentally, "What is my name?"
Oberon.
Oberon. I like it.
That is a good name.
I am at your service, Clonus. And he kneels before you.
He does like that curtsy bow that like horses do.
But with these large ram horns that touch the ground, and you can see perfect steps.
And I definitely scratch it between the horns in that one spot that I definitely can never hit.
That's very kind of you.
And then, and there's no saddle on them, is there?
No. Doesn't need one. Perfectly shaped to your body.
In my buttocks, there's like a perfectly little divots.
Yeah. Celestially carved.
Dude, we should race.
All right.
Let's go.
My money's on
Il
Oberon.
Mounter, do you want to race?
Oh, I'd love to race. I don't really like the name, though, but we can race.
He loves me.
I love you enough.
Okay, Oberon. Let's race this guy. Let's race these fools.
Race the rules.
No, rules. Fools.
Let's race these fools. I repeat, cook these fools. He
Close
immediately...
enough.
Are you guys gonna race?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What's the ram's movement speed?
What do you have?
They have different
60
movement
feet.
speeds.
You're faster than me.
Yeah. So I'll let you each roll an athletics check for your mount.
Oh, for the mount. Okay.
Athletics track?
Can I use my athletics?
No.
No, you use the rams or the war horses.
What is the warhorse's speed? What is the warhorse's speed?
The warhorse's speed is 60, but I don't know what the athletics or the strength modifier is. One of them...
Probably one.
It's like
I think they both have a
this
plus
is
3.
So close.
14 plus 4, 18.
Okay, you beat me. I had 12. Solid.
Okay. Racing 50 feet goes by, and just about there, Cephas's horse starts to take the lead. Starts to take the lead as Oberon just hoofing it, pushing as hard as he can. He starts to catch up. Ilmounter 20 feet ahead now, 30 feet, 40 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet, until passes this rock that you guys had kind of seemingly decided would be the finish line, and then skids to a stop. Be that then.
Oh, we hit the rock with the horns though.
You hit the rock
Dead on. Just try to.
And you see-
we're a ram.
up the rock.
You're going to have to resummon him now.
He just disappears, right?
No.
He just disappears. You may win the race, but I break the rock.
That's right. We broke a rock.
Well, we won the race, so... Can you break a rock, Il Mounter?
Maybe.
Well, we don't need to try.
I don't have those horns.
I pet his head.
I like your ears.
Thank you.
I kiss him on the mouth.
Oh,
Just kidding. I mean, I have a dog. I lose my dog.
take me back, Ilmater. Take me back. I'm changing his voice. He's going to be country. Take me back, Ilmater. Take me back.
All right, we can go now. To wherever you want.
You know, I think I do like Ilmounter. It's sweet.
Reminds me of my cousin. Back in Celeste.
It kind of sounds like molasses.
Very good.
It's a horse.
I'm ready.
He's still a dumb
rock.
horse.
He's the mater now.
Yeah.
Oberon, do you?
They call me Ilmounter.
I don't mind it.
Because I'm down to clown. And mounter because I'm a horse.
That's right. You are smart. He'll make to make you wise.
Ilmater told me that I was exactly what you needed.
Dude, his wisdom is higher than mine.
Oh, really? What's his intelligence, though? It's like 3, right?
Well, no, they get their
Intelligence is
intelligence
6.
becomes
6.
whatever is good enough for language. So
Gets
6.
bumped to the 6.
6, okay.
Yeah.
So he's still
He's dumb,
so dumb.
but
But he's wiser than
Yeah.
you.
I can't read, but I can tell you whether we should fight or not.
You will help me be wise when I'm not. I accept that.
Because I can feel your brain. And I know sometimes you want to, like, kick a kid or something. But I would tell you not to do it.
I would hope I would also not kick a kid.
That's why Ilmater sent me. To tell you when not to or when to kick a kid.
Ilmater cannot wait to kick a kid.
I'm projecting my own temptations.
Well, you should not
really
kick
want
a
to
kid.
kick a... Okay.
Oh shoot, I was looking
You know what, Ilmater? I'll help you.
I
and you
am very
help me.
wise, so I know I shouldn't, but I was looking at my brain, not yours. Yeah.
I wants to.
I once.
Whoops, it's my brain that wants to kick the kid, so I should tell myself not to kick a kid. Oberon, in your mind, Clonus. I think we could break a bigger rock.
You think so?
I think so.
I like this.
Go run into
We should
that
try
garage
sometime.
rock.
Not today. I don't want to damage
Especially
your
if I imagine that rock as our enemy.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be cool. Oberon,
Clonus,
we've only been friends for now,
45 seconds.
about a minute, maybe 2. Do you need to eat food?
I do not need to, but I enjoy it.
You enjoy it, okay.
I am not a ghostly apparition. It will not phase through me.
Oh, okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Let's go find you some hay or something in straw at the stables.
I do love hay.
Oh boy. Okay. How's your? And we're gonna start heading back.
Yeah.
How are you at climbing mountainous terrain? I know there's
Better
none
than
around
that
here.
horse over there.
I figured that.
Figured that.
Cool.
92 degrees.
I take the little man ear cuff and I put it on his ear.
that's what you're going to use it on?
Back off. I just put it on him just to see. Now do you feel better about climbing?
Okay. His little ear kind of flaps around as if it thinks it's a fly trying to swat it away.
That's me. I'm putting something on. I'm trying to.
And then his ear goes stiff, and you put the cuff to the edge of it, and the cuff just grabs hold.
Dude, you got a real climbing goat now. Real climbing goat, dude.
What is this? Is this to show people that I am yours?
No, I cannot lie to you. This is gonna help us climb, but I don't want to wear it right now. So I was just gonna see if you could wear it, and it looks like it worked.
I will gladly wear this thing.
Okay, we're gonna head back. I'm gonna head back.
All right.
Clonus,
you-
or Cephas, come on.
Like your dog. Cephas, come on, buddy.
And what are you calling that? Your horse again?
Ilmater.
A mounter.
It's Ilmater.
And mount. I can't hear. I can't.
Yeah. He can't hear me,
Does
can
yours,
he?
does yours talk to you in your head?
He talks to my brain,
Okay.
and he's very smart.
Very smart. Amazing.
I probably sound as smart as I am, too.
I just shake my head.
He's talking.
I bet he's talking to you. Let's head back.
All right, the two of you. And then the doors open up, and you guys see within the lobby of this manor this tall gray stallion. Atop it, you see Cephas having to duck into the room. Even though these
Oh, I'm
10
taking
foot-
him into the middle of the room?
You're not going to take him into the manor?
Ah, well, totally.
I figured you weren't going to leave him outside. You see these 10-foot tall doorways as he ducks in, and then behind him, kind of like trotting around him in this like zigzag pattern because he's a goat, a ram or whatever. You watch as bounding in on this ram, Clonus, on these two steeds.
Hey, you guys.
Venora's now up and walking around and gets. Where did you guys find wildlife? We're in a field.
Lucky's not gonna be so lonely anymore.
Ilmater sent me a horse. His name is Ilmounter,
Hill Mountain.
and yes, you can pet him.
Thank you. That was my next question. And I pet Hill Mountain.
Make sure she only pets me on my head.
He wants only his head.
Oh, okay. Just like
That's
right on his
nice.
snoot.
That's
I've taken that time to ritually cast Find Familiar.
Sure. This crow flies into the room.
Well, you've got a cool animal too.
Goodness, what is
I
that?
think I'm going to try mounting that.
What is that?
It's a bird. His name is Soap.
I am learning a lot about this plane of existence, and I do not like it.
Do not
He's
like
got something called bird. He's got hooks. Bird.
At this point, you guys, as you gallop back into the room, Holik walks back in from the kitchen. You see him kind of like separating leaves from a little like twig. All 8 of you now. As Ghibli walks in with a few. Did you make sandwiches for everybody, Ghibli, or just for you and Titus?
Just for me and Titus, and Cephas wanted one too, so I made him 2 because he's big.
So Ghibli walks in, munching on a sandwich as Titus has eaten like over half of it already and hands a sandwich. You see Cephas now on this horse. You have to like hold the sandwich really high. All 8 of you happen to be convening in the same room,
Wow. What chances of that?
meaning you can talk. Well, I get a cookie.
What is the plan? I would like to rest, but I think you have to go someplace.
When is our next fight?
The next fight will be happening in about, if I recall, about in 2 weeks' time. And I believe that is about as much time that we need to take for our travels. At least a little bit less than that, if I recall correctly. No, I do not recall correctly.
10 days travel, 17 days till your fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much.
So we can afford to spend a day or 2 to rest and relax.
So you're looking about 12 days of travel, give or take a day, depending on how it goes, to Wild Valley. And your duel is in 17 days.
Well, I'd like to go into town. If you'll let me, I'd like to sell all the weapons we found in the chainmail and then use it to send some wares to Richten in the town we saved.
I'd like to see if we could get better supplies while we're in a military fort, because we've just got that money.
Yep. We have to go pick up our reward.
Before making...
Yeah, we got the bounty as well.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
And I'd like to get this fixed.
And I tap on the plate armor.
How long would that take? I'm sure fixing a plated armor would take a little longer than.
Well,
what we
I could
estimate.
probably fix the plate armor if we just have access to it. Forge.
Well, that would be awesome. I bet we can find one of those.
I didn't know you were.
We have
good at
new
that,
friends
Titus.
now,
I
too.
didn't know about that until just like recently either.
Are there any other guards left there that were there last night?
Guards?
Works
Yeah.
for me.
No, they left you guys in the manor alone.
Okay.
They trust us.
You can get that picture, huh?
I know. I'll go get it.
So our next fight is southeast at
Wild Valley.
Wild Valley. I have to head northwest.
And what a
That's
time.
different than where we're going.
I know. I have strict orders from my patrons to head northwest.
Do you have a timetable on that?
Fairly soon. It is.
Wow, that sounds exact.
It is. So, long story short, I have been on a mission from my church for the last years, and I am been instructed. I've written to my church many a time, but they very rarely write me back. Well, they wrote me back a while back saying I need to head up to Sunwall. And I need to find a contact up there. If that is at all possible.
How far away is Sunwall from here?
Sunwall is exactly
10 days.
10 days from us.
But it's in the
far
other
away?
direction.
And it's in the opposite direction. We don't have enough time to go to the fight.
No,
and
from Sunwall to Wild Valley by road, you're looking at like 18 days. So it'd be 10 days to Sunwall and then 18 days. So if you guys all have access to the map, it's in the Facebook group. Go check out our Discord, discord.gg/Christian Influence. Go to the Of Lore and Legend channel, and there you can see cool things like character art and maps and people making memes about the show. It's awesome. Go check it out. You can see where they're at, and it has a scale on the bottom. And the scale shows sections of 24 miles, because that's what you can travel in a day. But so you can like try and figure that. You can estimate that.
And you have to get there before.
I believe you got that
could-
map from somebody. You're in Fort Trinity right now.
Yep.
What town were we in that we saved?
Is where
That you saved?
Oh,
are you talking about from the Knolls?
Woodhurst?
It's not listed. It's a village.
It's like south by
So-
like a day and a half.
So the map shows major cities of Reskelia, but all throughout there are hamlets and villages and things like that. That village was located kind of, I would say, if your best guess. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check for me, Cephas.
can Clonus assist?
Maybe you should.
Sure, we're talking about this.
Sure. If you want to try to figure out where Whithurst is.
8. Oh, can I get advantage?
Yeah,
though?
you got advantage.
8.
Your best guess is it's. You see where Trade Acre is? You see where Fort
Yeah.
Trinity is? You see that big patch of grass that's created by those roads?
It's there.
It's somewhere in there.
Nice. Okay. So
I have a direction.
What has been shared is that the next one is Wild Valley, and then after that is Sunwall.
the next one after that is Sunwall.
So should we make it a day of shopping then?
Let's make it a day of shopping. We can head back down to Wild Valley, but then I'll need to head back up to Sunwall when we go up for the fight.
But you're down to go.
I'm good to
Wild
stay with the
Valley
group then. Yes. As long as we have a tentative plan to get back to Sunwall within the month.
We can leave right after the fight.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
If we're doing a day of shopping, I wanted to do some smithing anyway, so I'll take your plate armor if you want. If I have
you
a
can
forge,
fix
I can
it.
go use, yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Titus.
Titus.
You are a wise little boy, you are.
Thanks.
Venora,
Yes.
take this mount.
Thank
it
you.
off.
And I let her ride. He'll mount her.
That'd be amazing. But I think you're hurting almost as bad as I am, so we'll switch halfway.
Halvesies.
No, you take him into town.
Aren't you going into town too?
Yes,
Okay.
it's my pleasure to suffer for you.
He's not hurting that bad.
All right, real quick. David, your duel number 4, which is in Wild Valley, is on the 1st of Karo, K-A-R-O. It is on Daring, which is the day of the week, D-E-R-R-I-N-G, the 1st of the month. You don't have to remember any of this, other than it's on the 1st of the month of Karo. And then your next duel is on Kin's Day, the 28th of the same month. So 27 days later. And there's about 17 days of travel between those two cities.
We've still got our bounty to collect. Right?
Correct. You haven't gone back to Fort Trinity, collected your bounty. You probably want to go back to Fort Trinity, which is just like a mile away, to sell this stuff that you're wanting to sell. But I think you guys were just discussing what you want to do and all that.
Now I have 2 people I need to talk to. I need to find Larch and Drake.
Lark, who you just killed?
Lark is dead.
Or dead.
I don't know.
Okay. Just making sure.
Okay.
We don't have any
They're probably in
breastplate,
the same
right?
spot.
I found one of
Whatever
those earlier.
happened
but I gave it
to
him.
Lark's weapon, the scythe?
I have it.
I would like to go to a tannery.
Okay. Do you guys want to leave the manor then?
Yes.
All right. So you close up the manor.
Before I
ahead.
leave the manor, I just want to take just a drink with me.
Take a drink.
Yeah, just swipe a drink.
Okay. You find some bottles of what look like probably mead in the kitchen on one of the windowsills.
Were there any like high quality
Roll an
drinks?
investigation check.
21.
Okay. You search through the kitchen, and then you go into the storeroom. In the kitchen, you found like 3 bottles of mead. That would be like about 4 glasses worth in each one. But looking in the storeroom, you see at the top shelf of this like shelf of potatoes and various vegetables and stuff, you see way up there atop this wooden tower is a little wooden crate with the unmistakable, clearly identified bottles of fine wine. Just out of your reach.
Cephas!
Do I hear?
Oh yeah, you hear him. So you go to him?
Yeah.
Okay, you walk in this dark room lit only by candlelight. You see Ghibli standing there looking at you.
What is it you want?
You're here for people suffering, correct?
Well, sometimes. I don't always get it right.
I'm a little bit short for this job, and I'm suffering. I realize I am using these words to twist your arm, but could you help me with that bottle up there?
What's in it?
Why? I'm a connoisseur of such.
Are you gonna drink too much of it?
No,
I get it.
that's not deception.
Okay? You're tall enough, you don't even have to bring like the little crate down. You just reach up into the crate and lift a bottle of it out. It looks like there were 6 in there. It's a fairly hefty jug of wine, or a bottle of wine. Probably similar amount, like between 3 and 4 glasses worth in here. It's a bucket, a jar, a jug, a bottle.
Enjoy with temperance, my friend.
And I hand it to him.
As you look at it, Ghibli, what languages do you speak? Let me find out real quick. You recognize the writing on it. You read. Do you mind if I say what languages? Do you care if people know what languages you speak, or do you want me not to say?
Yeah, you can keep it down low.
All right. You recognize, not what, I won't say what language it is, but you recognize that it says, do you not want me to say what it says either?
No, you can say what it says.
So in Goblin, no, just kidding.
Guilty.
It says, the crook of the raven.
It's just nodding my head. It's like, very.
And just looking at it through the kind of like dark green bottle, it does seem to be very dark purple wine.
I don't have this very often. Splendid.
You've not heard of this label.
Really? Okay, never mind.
No. But it looks fancy. The language reads like it's written in a nice fancy script.
I'll pocket that and head out.
Okay.
Definitely goblin.
It's definitely goblin.
If it was Goblin, it would have said like, bird feathers would have tasted better. Yeah.
Butt smears.
It would have said like, bird sweat.
Fight milk.
Fight milk.
Yes.
Okay. You guys leaving the manor?
Yes.
Yeah.
As you begin your trek back to town, Venora, this part of the trip that you were not looking forward to, you were like, now is made much easier. Both by the fact that you're riding this horse, but even that would have been painful. And you just feel sore, but you know there would have been a constant, sharp, jabbing pain that is not there because of Cephas's help. About halfway to town, it's only a few minutes, you pass by where you see some remainders of blood-stained dirt on the trail where you guys had a quick encounter with some of Larch's men. You don't see any bodies there anymore. Presumably guards have come and picked those up, maybe. And a couple minutes later, just as you see the town starting to... I mean, the fort is in view the whole time, but as you're growing closer, you can kind of see the people on top, like the morning patrol, well, now midday patrol along the top of the wall. You see some guardsmen, about 6 of them, making their way out, and they're walking towards you. And as they reach you, they just continue on past. And then a couple of them look at you, and you guys recognize them as the guards from last night, and they just nod at the 8 of you. And well done last night to you guys again. Glad to see that you're all whole.
Thank you for your help. You came in just the nick of time.
Did you, leave the manor in any sort of disrepair, or we're going to begin our investigation today?
Nothing worse than what you saw it in last night.
All right. Well, just for posterity, if you don't mind, stay out of it now. We know from this point forward there should be no tampering with it. So we will begin our full investigation of every inch of that manor. So just stay away, and I know some of you talked about buying it or whatever. If Trake allows you to do that, just make sure you check in with him first.
Did we show them the magic rocks? Were they gone? Or were they
I don't
there?
think you guys showed guards that. Oh, maybe
We
you did.
told
They
them
were still
about
there.
it,
Yes.
and they went to the entrance.
That's right. You're right. My bad.
I just want to make sure that they knew about those.
And you got, I'm assuming, all of your stuff out of it, correct?
I believe so.
Alrighty. Well,
Hope so.
fair travels to you all. Hope to see you around. You've done a great service to our town. Thank you. And you've done a great service to the nation. Fort Trinity is truly a bastion of strength to the rest of Raskelia. And to see us not fall, but even be crippled in the slightest way would do irreparable harm to Raskelian's military. The Raskelian military, excuse me. And I'm sure news of this victory will make its way up the chain and grace the ears of our High Sovereign.
Glad we could help uphold the honor of the military with her.
It is men and women like yourselves who selflessly stand up for just what is right that are holding things together and holding the Taproasians at bay. That bloody red wave is coming this direction, and we know it.
You'll be ready for it. First on the lines.
I will. I'm prepared to slit the throats of many.
Nice.
Good day,
Tip
then.
my head to him, like, walking away.
I'm gonna catch up with my companions.
Shouldn't speak. Your friends are 100 feet out.
Oh, goodness me.
He takes himself
Ronald
very
Reagan, like the red
seriously.
wave,
Yeah.
just ranting at us for like 3 hours.
Did I
He
mention?
takes us all the way back to the.
Did I mention communism yet?
They're on their way here. I just know it. That red wave.
He takes
All
himself
right,
very
he runs off.
seriously.
Spear in hand. He
He does a spear. Don't they all carry spears?
the majority of them, the majority of the
Those two that had spears.
the Fort Trinity Guard do carry spears. That's a pretty typical thing. In that situation, it just happened the ones that were traders were holding spears and the other ones were not. But that is the typical armament of the Fort Trinity Guardsmen. Okay, you guys reach the town gates. You are... Go ahead.
When we pass the rocks, could I have asked Lumen to fly up there where they were hiding and see if there's any stuff? Like
Sure.
They have any.
Lumen, did you want to check that?
Any stuff.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me. This is a few minutes ago.
9.
9. You see a bit of grass along the top of that rocky area where it was kind of like matted down, where it seems like they were hiding, you know, like laying prostrate along the rocks so that you couldn't see them as you approached.
Nothing cool. That's all. I just want to make sure there wasn't anything like a camp out kind
Like
of
they
thing.
didn't leave a treasure chest behind or something.
Yeah.
That would be terrible.
Exactly.
But as you guys approach the gate, the northern gate of Fort Trinity, it is already open, and you see as some of the patrol up top look at you, and as you approach, you're just 30, 50 feet away. Some of them wave, and like where they had bows kind of trained on the people approaching, they like let their bows slack, and they put their bows to the side. And one calls down, "Is that the people's hand down there?"
That's right.
Welcome home.
Aww. Look at that.
Guys, we got him. We just have to take Drake.
What's next?
Drake. We'll take the whole town. Already love us.
Thank you for the warm welcome.
We're safer knowing that you are here in the town, and we appreciate your work for us.
We're glad we could be in service.
All right, you guys make your way through the gate. It remains open. They seem to have the gates open today. You walk through town. Where are you going?
Pollock does try and fight off the big smile.
Does he successfully?
I mean, he's trying to fight it off.
He looks like he's sucking on something sour.
I'm going back to that smithy that I was at earlier when I was learning tools and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on his plate armor.
Okay. So Cephas piles up this plate armor in your arms, and it's heavy, but you're pretty strong. And you just, as you guys are you guys kind of splitting up here, going to different areas? Is anybody going with Titus?
Wait. Are we going to Trake to get the money first?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll go with Titus.
Okay.
I'm a child. I know they'll give me my share at some point.
Where's Titus going?
Titus is going to a blacksmith.
His name is Richter.
Richter? Actually.
Who's Richter?
The smith in Fort Trinity.
Oh, okay. And I'm selling the chainmail and all that, and the warhammers.
I was gonna hit up the smithy after getting the bounty.
Well, are you going to a smith, or are you just going to a forge?
The smith.
He's going to a blacksmith who works the forge.
So I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
But I'm going there to work.
Yeah.
And I'm going to there to sell.
Okay. I mean, makes sense. Go to the same place. So the two of you will do that first. I just want to make sure nobody else is going with you guys, right? All right. So as you guys all kind of, and we'll just discuss this in a second, but all of you discuss where you're all splitting up and going. Maybe throw out where you're going real quick so people don't go, oh, I wanted to go there.
I'm taking Ghurty home.
Okay. So Edovard's taking Ghurty home. You two are going to Smith.
I want to go to the tannery.
Okay, you're going to go find a tannery?
I was actually going to go to a fine brewery.
Okay, you're trying to find a bar or a brewery?
A brewery.
Okay, interesting. Venora, Lumen, and Holik. You guys collecting bounty? Holik is, right?
I was gonna collect bounty and then go to the smithy.
I assume maybe that's where Trake is.
I'm assuming you're going to collect the bounty from Trake, right? Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, I'll be following.
I'm going to catch up with Cephas real quick and then head to Trix.
Okay, I mean, Cephas is with you right now.
Yeah, but after we split.
Okay. So people are all splitting up. All right, you guys all split up and go your separate ways. I'm just going to do this one first, the Smith first.
I need the money from this trade before I can do my thing.
Okay, so you're going to roll with Holik.
But then Holik's going to be going to the Smith after.
But that's in the same district, so you guys can go to that district and split up if you want.
Yeah, so that's good.
So you're going to roll with the hole.
Roll.
And then as you guys start splitting up, Cephas and Titus, you're going to go catch up to Cephas real quick, right? Okay. Yeah. Everybody starts going their separate ways. Where are you guys? Are you guys agreeing to meet up somewhere after this is all done, or what? You have to try and find each other.
Meet up back at our...
You guys have a tavern room, right? Yeah. That's for half of you, and then the other four of you stay with Ghurty's.
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
All right. So
I was going to meet up at Ghurty's after.
Meeting up at Ghurty's after you finish your stuff.
For supper.
We'll make dinner.
All right, sweet.
Potluck style. Everyone brings something. Oh.
Okay. You guys can bring some coal from the forge.
Yeah.
All right.
You bring cutlery from the forge.
As you guys all split up to go your separate ways, agreeing to meet up at Ghurty's that night, Titus and Cephas, you guys start rushing off towards the industrial district. And just as you get around the corner of the block, Cephas, you hear behind you as, I'm assuming Venora's still riding your horse?
Yeah.
As the ill-mounter peers around the corner and you see him, and just as you do, he goes, oh, hey there, boss. She wants to speak to you, I think.
Venora.
I had a question.
Titus turns around but can't see because you're holding all this armor that's above you, and you're just clank, 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 clank.
Is he carrying all this armor that I gave you?
Just the plate mail.
The plate. This huge plate armor, you gave it to him, and he's holding it like this, and it's just like kind of like a little kid holding a bunch of pillows.
We'll catch up with you, Titus. You can keep headed out.
You just see his eyes. There's like a little blank space where there's a hole between parts of it. You see his eyes peering through.
I just keep going.
Okay, he turns back around and he looks like a Jawa from Star Wars, and then he clank, 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 runs away. A helmet drops with his little tiny turtle tail. It flicks it onto the pile, and he.
Yes, best image. Cephas, you were talking about selling all the stuff and giving the money to Richten. Could I ask to give some of that money to the family of the girl who died? That I couldn't save.
Ask.
Can we give some of the money to the family of the girl who died?
I think that would be wise.
I think that
I did not see her, but I can tell she made an impact on your life.
she was somebody I couldn't save, even though I was there. But, so at least help her family out a little bit.
Sometimes we wish we could suffer for other people.
I would have done anything in that moment to take her pain away. But she's with somebody now. Either I prayed to Vilena that she would take her to her gardens, but maybe Ilmater will take her as well.
He will.
I'm going to go talk to her mom now, and then once we get the money from whatever you're selling, then maybe we can donate it to her.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, so you rush, catch up to Titus.
I hit Elmeltra on the booty as he's leaving. The old.
Oh. Loud and clear, master. So, rushing to Richter, the blacksmith, you hear the very recognizable sounds of a smith. And as you approach, you just see plumes of black smoke pouring out of this vent on the side of his building. And there's this open portion where it kind of reaches out into like the back courtyard of his home, because that's where he works out of and sells. It's quite common in the area. You see two apprentices with him as they all are working tirelessly, sweating in the midsummer heat. And as you walk up, just walking into this district of town, because of the sheer number of blacksmiths in the area, it is probably 5 degrees hotter just in this area. But as you approach his building, you kind of pass the foundation of it, and underneath this covered area that provides shade, and it's an additional 10 degrees hotter. Just probably 103 degrees underneath this covered area. That's providing shade from the sun, but it's just incubating all this heat. Sparks flying in every direction as they are just pounding away at this large sword. All three of them. You see Richter holding this massive sword with both of his hands. As he does, these other two guys, ting-ting, 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 with these huge hammers. As he flips it over, they continue hammering away until it's bright red or bright yellow glow becomes this dull red. He takes it, sticks it into this massive vat. Steam pours everywhere, another 5 degrees hotter in this covered area. It is horrible under here. But you feel a strange kinship to it. Almost as if it's not a feeling as though this is where you've always belonged, but it is a feeling as though this is where you might belong. And as you stand there, they pay you no mind until finally they finish this portion that they're doing. And he hands the sword to one of the other guys, both of them. And he goes, all right, go and freshen up, get some water. Go step into a cooler area. Let's cool our heads off for a bit while I talk to this kid. Titus, welcome back.
Hi, Richter.
You've got a bit of dinged up armor there, don't you?
Yeah, I was hoping that if you had space available, I could work on it and fix it up for my friend. And
what is
my
it?
My friend also has stuff that he wants to know if you'd be interested in purchasing.
Is that a set of half plate? Or is it... No, that's plate, is it not? Spendy stuff. I see why you want to fix it up. Not cheap to buy it new. Well, I'd charge you... If I was going to fix it up myself, I'd charge you 700 gold pieces to refit it and bang it all back out into the appropriate size and shape. But you want to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So you basically just want to borrow my facilities or rent them? Okay. I still have to charge you.
That's fair.
You'll need materials as well as the time, and you'll have to use the training grounds over there, where I've been training my apprentices, but they'll be working with me on one of our projects. So I'll charge you 400 gold pieces for materials and the facility, and it's yours.
Okay. Let me sit here for a moment while I wait for my friend.
Okay? He's there. Cephas is there.
I couldn't see behind the giant.
I'm
pile
right here.
of flint.
What was the cost?
To use my facilities, and you'll need some resources, tools, as well as specifically you'll need raw materials to fix it up. It's going to be 400 gold pieces.
That is a lot. Let's see what I have.
Well, to be frank with you, like I said, I'd charge you at least 700, probably 750 if you gave it to me for me to do it myself.
I can cover half of it, Cephas.
I'm looking for where I put my money.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is plate armor, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. It's the one that gives you 18 flat. Yeah. 18 flat. No, there's no plus to it. Yeah. Plus strength. Oh my goodness.
That'd be insane.
No, it's an 18 flat armor class, but it does have disadvantage on stealth. But it is the most expensive armor set.
Yeah, how much is a new set of armor?
Of plate, 1,500 on average.
So you're getting quite a steal here.
How much is it to fix?
400.
For him to fix it, he'd do 750, but for Titus, he said he'd do 700. But to use his facilities and his raw materials, he'll charge them 400 and they can do it themselves. Which means you guys are going to have to roll some stuff and you might fail.
Don't fail.
Or you could just pay him 700 and no, there won't be a failure.
Hey, try and climb while you do it.
You can do half then.
Yeah,
I don't have 400.
I can cover half. I need the practice.
Thank you, Titus. All right.
Okay, so you're going to pay it? All right, 200 gold each.
Can I?
He takes the purse. Go ahead.
No.
And what for this?
And you're looking to sell some stuff here?
I've got this.
And I put up 4 chainmail. I'm not yet willing to part with mine, given that the uncertainty of this project. I have 5, counting the one I'm wearing, but
That's fine. So 4.
Actually, no, I have splint, so I have 4. I have 4 chainmail, 2 warhammers.
So let's go one at a time here. For the chainmail.
You use the word pristine and of gold.
Really?
No.
The chainmail, I'll give you 30 gold pieces per set of chainmail. How's that sound?
It sounds...
Wait, what's the condition of this chainmail? You never told me.
It's in fair condition. It's not like bad. It's certainly not shining, gleaming. They didn't regularly polish it and take super good care of it.
Blood on it.
Go ahead and make a...
What if I'm like,
well, we did get this chainmail saving the city from a plot that was trying to hurt everyone in it. But if that's the best you can do...
Make a persuasion check. A guilt check.
Guilt trip.
That was 37.
Well...
Titus, he points you to that area and goes, you are welcome, get started if you'd like.
14.
14? All right. Well, your service to the city is greatly appreciated. I'll give you 35 for each.
Thank you.
Okay, so for 4 of them, right? 140? So he counts out 140 gold of the 400 you just gave him and gives it back to you. What's your next? What else are you selling? You had 2 warhammers?
2 warhammers.
All right. Let me inspect them real quick. See how good they look. They seem to be decent make. I'll give you 6 gold pieces for each.
All right.
All right. So another 12 gold. What's left?
These 2 great swords.
2 great swords. One of them's in better condition than the other. Both seem to be of decent make. They actually seem to be a foreign make. So I'm not going to have a great time trying to resell these to our soldiers, but I could sell them to somebody that's looking for something more interesting. So I'll give you 30 gold pieces for each.
All right.
So another 60 to you. What else?
Oh, wait.
Can I sell 1 more chainmail?
Sure. Another 35 gold?
5, yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep these javelins. I think I heard somebody wanted them.
Will that be all then?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, pleasure doing business with you. I gave you the best pricing I could. Understand that it's not really a great market for most of this stuff right now, since there's pretty much every smith in Reskelia seems to be here except for about 10 of them. I knew that's really worth their gumption is somewhere else, but... We're going to come back to the 2 of you real quick. We're going to go away, and then we'll come back and you guys can do... I'm assuming Cephas is going to help with the armor. We'll come back and We'll come back and do that in a second. Holik, Clonus, and Lumen. 3 of you start making your way to Trake's. You start making your way to Trake's manor. And after a few minutes of walking, you hear as Venora rides up next to you on Ilmounter. Ilmounter right up next to your ear, Holik, and then and just kind of looks at you like these two glassy eyes just looking at you, and then they kind of like slowly drift in either direction away from you. You guys make your way to High Commander Trake's manor. As you approach, you see 4 guards at the gate entering the gardens. Unlike what you saw the night before, which was just 2 and the gates were open, you see the gates are shut. You see 4 guards outside. As you approach, they all kind of like toughen up a little bit, then they see who you are, and one of them, "Welcome, members of the People's Hand. We were alerted to your possible arrival, and were instructed to let you in." And the gates swing open.
Thank you.
The 4 of you make your way into the gardens, where you see another guard standing in front of the large wooden doorway. And he, "You'll have to leave your horse outside."
I'm on Oberon too.
"And your ram. This is a new development. I've seen you about town."
Yeah, this guy just knows. Like, that's new.
I've been following your work since the Champions.
He's a bad boy.
I've been following your work since the Colosseum. I have to say, my favorite is the tall one who climbed very, very high.
This is actually his horse, so he'll be
Oh,
coming.
wow.
Would you like to hold the horse until
I would love to.
get off?
You must be lucky.
I've heard so.
I have heard so much.
I leave the horse to the family.
I'm gonna leave the ram just basically behind, like parked parallel.
Okay.
Be like, just follow them.
Yeah. The ram does not. That's the crazy thing. The ram, like, when you're not on it, he is so well behaved, he does not move a muscle. I mean, goats kind of do that too, but he is like, you would think he's a statue. And then he just kind of like shakes a second and then munches on some grass and then statue.
Wait till you sneak up on him, though.
Please tell me he faints.
But it's mental. It's not real. It's only Byron hears. He's like, "Oh my goodness!" And the rest are like, "What? What?" It's like, "Did you guys hear that scream? That weird man scream?"
I thought it was a statue.
I felt it in my head. His whole body locked up.
Yeah.
Clonus falls over still.
Clonus falls over.
The bond is so severe.
Yeah. He's like a quarter mile away, but Clonus falls over and he's like, "Somebody scared my goat."
Your bond is like that of Aragorn and the dragon.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Oberon.
Oberon. So you guys walk into High Commander Trake's manor, and inside a servant is standing before you. What's up?
Where is Lucky?
At Gertrude's house.
Okay.
He's either at Gertrude's or he's stable.
I believe you left him at Gertrude's house.
Because we didn't trust him at the stable.
That's right.
yes.
He's dead.
We'll see. The last thing you know was he was there, and then you sent Hal Apeno to the house.
That's right.
And you've neither heard from both of them. You haven't heard from both of them.
Also right.
Oh no.
So it's safe to assume wherever Jalapeno is.
Dude, I swear Jalapeno is just bumming in Gertrude's house. He's what? He's just bumming in Gertrude's house.
I was waiting for the
Squatters' rights.
Squatters' rights.
Sorry, it's the squatter's rights.
I was told if no one came back, I could keep the house. By who? By your mother. Big fan of that kind of joke, you know. So you walk in and you see standing before you a maid, one of the house servants. She is wearing just kind of like simple, like a simple black dress. She has this brown apron on, seemingly like she works both in the kitchens but also is a house servant. But as she looks up, you see a black veil in front of her face. This is not the mother, but it does seem as though, for whatever reason, this lady as well is honoring the mourning of them. And she looks at you all Oh, welcome back. Are you here to see the master?
Yes.
Right this way. And she guides you in a different direction you've gone in this house, before. You go to the left, down this left wing. And as you follow her, she takes you to this large study room. In this room, you see what you would expect in a study, like books everywhere. You see a small bookshelf with some like large, thick, leather-bound books, but that's about it for books. The rest of it, you see maps, Reskelia, whole maps of Rykera. The map of Rykera paints what some of you have seen before as this image of the continent, but keep in mind, like this sort of time period, fantasy, medieval, it's not as common to see like a world map, let alone a continental map. Some like low lives, like who live in squalor, would never even see a map of the country they live in. Maybe a map of the city they live in. Most like people living in squalor might see a map of the city they live in. Very rarely a city of the kingdom they live in. Certainly not the country they live in. But you see this continental map, and these kind of vague borders, separated by different colors to separate these 5 kingdoms of Rykera. But you see where once there was this kind of blue dashed border around the country known as Strelavand, that centralmost country, there is now inked over it. You can still kind of see the partial blue. The same red that makes up Taproasia's border is now making up the border of Strelavand. Now showcasing, instead of 5 distinct kingdoms, 4 kingdoms of Rykera. And it's this kind of strangely jarring thing because it's recent history. Like, it's recent, like, regional politics, this whole thing that happened within the last couple of years. But it's strange to see cemented and inked into a map. And you can see it's a map that was before all this happened, but somebody, presumably Trake, has gone to the effort to ink over it to include the fact that, like, doesn't say that he's in support of it, that's for sure, but it does showcase the fact that he has said, yeah, they have taken over, and now there are 4 kingdoms of Rykera, no longer 5. So as you stand in here, you see Trake. He is just standing behind his desk, actually looking up at this larger map. It's the largest map in his room. You do see to the left, he has a map of Reskelia with plenty of notation on it. All the major cities, even a few little bits of notation for some of the hamlets and villages. You do see where you think would be one for Whithurst, and scratched underneath it does say Whithurst. So there is a little like marking on that. It seems as though it would make sense that he would have some of these, given the fact that they were collecting troops from everywhere. And you see just a scattering of other little villages all throughout the area.
So Clonus is here. He's gonna dig into his bag real fast. Like, if it seems appropriate, he's gonna dig in his bag and then kind of like jot down a rough sketch of things.
Of that map? Of this room.
Not the room, but he's gonna try to like grab some of the map content and like get some more detail. He's not going super fine detail. Not gonna draw every tree or everything like that. He's just kind of like quick 5 minute sketch.
Are you going after like trying to see the locations of other villages, stuff that you might not have seen on your map?
Yeah, because do we actually have the map?
You guys have a map. It's like, it's not as detailed and colorful as the map that I gave you guys access to. It is a single monocolor, like on canvas in black map, but with the same shape and design as the one I've given you. And it has all the major cities on it, and then like major landmarks, just like the map I gave you. So all the things that are on the map I gave you guys access to on Facebook are on that one. It's just not in color.
So Byron knows more information than Clonus does. Yeah. But Clonus is going to grab what he thinks would be most applicable to just add to the sketchbook.
I'll say quickly.
And he's not going for perfection or accuracy. He's just trying to get major concepts as quick as he can.
You might want to just write down, I'll tell you like the locations of them. Okay, so looking at the map, if you locate the major city of Sunwall, to the west of Sunwall, there's like a gulch, and then like a little creek within the gulch. And you see scribbled there the same notation as he has for the villages, like for Whithurst, one called Salt Hall. It's one word, but Salthall, Salt Hall. Then you also see another village that you didn't know existed, It's along the Reskel beaches, around the word for Reskel. On Reskel beaches, you see one called Still Bay. You also see one just south of Myth Falls, between Myth Falls and Boulder Wind. You see a scratching for a village called Last Host. And then the final one you get, as you're kind of like scanning this and you're like sketching in little areas, I'm just going to give you 4.
Sounds great.
Is one more. It is another little village. And this one is within the Kirkbine Peaks, which is the major mountain range. And it would be on the southeastern portion of the mountains, just north of Port Doreau. You see scrawling for a village called Bone Post. And then what looks like just peeking into the borders of Taproasia, scrawling for a village called Lostmere, Lostmere. So those are some locations that you've not seen on a map before that you notice. And as you're doing this, he turns around.
Hello there. Welcome back. Thank you for your work. How can I help you?
I walk up to the big
As
map.
Clonus is...
I walk up to the big map he was looking at and just stare at it for a bit.
This one is less detailed, but there are some landmarks, like major cities. And you don't see all the major cities that you might recognize from some of the other countries on there, but most of them, like the big ones. So like the capital city of Strelovand is certainly on there, the capital city of the other ones. And he was looking at it. Sorry, go ahead.
It's so weird seeing their border moved. It makes it way more real and makes them seem way closer to us.
Doesn't it then? Yes. We lived in denial for a little while. I did my best to hope and pray that Strelovand would take their land back, because that would mean maybe that Taproasia wouldn't be such a risk to us. My hopes were in vain, though. You know, not but a year later, they tried, and they failed.
Kind of crushed those people's hopes after that.
I would think so, yes. And I also think that it did also quite literally weaken them. I think they might have lost the last... Well, 2 things. They lost their last hope in their royalty by seeing their prince die. The last of their royal family scattered to the wind. And also, just a lot of men. All the men they lost in their initial fight didn't even total a third of what they lost in that second fight. So their population is down, but their fighting population is down significantly. But Taproasia's is not. If anything, they've gained more. Whatever's been left to Strelovand, they've been bringing into their own armies and corrupting with their empiric ways. You know, it's scary, though, because of our position. We share a border with the free cities of Ashana, but Ishana is not a unified country. So if we could even expect any help or aid in defending our borders from them, which I do not think we can, we could only expect it from maybe 1 or 2 of those cities that we have to get our own specific alliances with each city. They are not a kingdom. And our border is small with them. And there's mountains and forests and swamps between us. So we are backed against the ocean as a wall. We are in a corner, and they are surrounding us. A red, terrifying, dark magic. An empire who did not stop once, and I do not believe will stop until they have the rest of us.
Have you been watching their ranks? Are they on the move at all recently?
We have outposts all along our borders. And we have a close relationship with one of the smaller cities in Strelovand that is on our border. And we do right now have a substantial force monitoring that city. Now, it is technically underneath Taproasian control, but we do monitor it because our belief is one of 2 things will happen if they invade us. They will come from the north through the canyons, which would be treacherous for them, but it is an outlet into our ranks. Or they will bolster, because you need a place to gather troops. They will more than likely bolster in Goldacre and then make their move from there to us in Fort Trinity.
Is it known to them that we have forces in the city?
We don't have forces in the city. We are monitoring it. I have a decent force on our border monitoring that city, meaning that scouts are regularly looking. And I say that trusting that I can trust a lot of you not to share that information, but also knowing that Teproasia should expect at least that, so I'm not really worried sharing that information.
We haven't given him... He doesn't know about the letter, right? But we were giving it to him. I have it, right?
I think that he made a copy of it. So yeah, Clonus made a copy of it. So that you guys can keep the real prop, but then you were planning to give the original to Drake.
I just look at the map and was like, even if they didn't know, they definitely know now. I hand him the letter.
As he grabs it, he kind of... I haven't even read this yet, my heart is breaking.
It's not good.
The depths of Larch's treachery. They spear at my very soul. He was a punk, and a rascal, and a coward. But his betrayal speaks volumes, and it scares me. I did speak against his stationing here, but I think the plan was, by putting him here, he couldn't do much more harm. And that was clearly a mistake.
Yeah. Who was somebody actively fighting for him to be stationed here, or was it kind of just everybody wanting him off his hands?
So, Larch is an interesting story. You're aware of his elven heritage, I'm assuming, just looking at him and listening to him speak?
Yes.
He's fairly young for an elf. But my understanding is that he comes from parents who survived the elven rebirth. My understanding is that in the wake of all of that, and needing somewhere to belong, you have to remember, for us, we live a very short lifespan. And what happened to those elves and dwarves about 75 or so years ago? It was before our time. I know you look at me and think I'm much, much older than you, and I am. It was before my time. I'm a man. In my early 60s. This was over 70 years ago. But to those elves, it was yesterday. And they came back to a world that was no longer theirs. For some of them, to kingdoms that were theirs and only theirs, now riddled with men. I feel bad, but I don't feel guilty. It's ours now. And the elves that returned to Raskelia, this was not their great shining kingdom like Merenthal was. But they love this land. Raskelia, the great forest. The Lormeni thicket, it was their great forest, full of vibrant life. So when they returned to it, and they saw men occupying it and using it, they did not like that. And it didn't go over well. But they're scattered, they had no unified front, and they tried to pick little fights, and we have armies, you know. But I don't know.
Settled? Are they still fighting?
I hear tales of little pockets of elven freedom fighters here and there, fighting, and they're a thorn in my side from time to time. I wouldn't be surprised if they take the opportunity now, while we are in the midst of a real war, for them to try and take some land and claim it as refuges, you know, for their own, and something along those lines, but they don't like what we've done to the land, and I'd say it's the land, you know. It is meant to be worked and used. They disagree. The older I've gotten, the more I do sympathize with him. I can't imagine what it feels like when you live as long as they do and experience life so differently, a generation to us is a tenth of a generation to them.
They view us as squatters. Basically.
Yeah. As vagrants, just wandering through. But to them, kingdoms must feel like cities. Because cities to us, they rise and fall over a few generations. But to them, they must see kingdoms the same way, I don't know. That was a bit of philosophy, I suppose, but what I meant to say was, he was born after all that. And he was born to this world. And his parents, I don't know anything about them, just that they survived it. But I think he wanted to belong to something, so he joined our Navy. And a little over a year ago, he was intended to be leading a small vessel to safety from a northwestern coast to Basin Point. And rumor has it, well, keep this between us. He was not given all the information about what he was doing. Now, that was for the sake of confidence. The mission was very, very dangerous, and we didn't want even our officers to know. Now, I had no decision in this. This was high generals and stuff in the capital, as well as the king, who decided this. But he was a captain of a naval force, and he was told, hey, you're going to be leading a group of trading vessels from a northwestern coast with precious cargo, precious to the king, some of his treasures, and bringing it down to Basin Point. So, given only those details, when he saw a Taproasian vessel in the distance, rumor is he took the opportunity to sink it. Now, he was told to go straight to Basin Point and take no detours. This was precious cargo. He took it upon himself to go after a Taproasian vessel and sink it. This was stupid, and it was a direct, blatant disregard for his orders. But his explaining it to me on a drunken night where he decided to let his lips grow loose about this night, his reasoning was not sound because he broke orders. But his reasoning was understandable because he assumed he was just in a trading vessel. So maybe that's the fault of those who did not give him orders. But, no. He's subject to their orders, When he took this risk, I do believe a lot of pride was the reason too. Because think about it, glory was on the line, right? And he probably saw it as an opportunity to skyrocket through the ranks. His poor decision led to the sinking of the ship he was tasked to protect. And the death of some very important cargo on that ship. A very important elven diplomat sent from the Ever-Queen Yinlana herself, from Merenthal, and a possible ally to us in this coming war, was killed. And as far as the king is considered, Larch is single-handedly responsible for the reason that we aren't getting elven aid in defending us from the Taproasians. Now, whether that's true or not, we don't know that they would have helped us. The negotiations were only beginning. And he ended those negotiations really before they started. As I was explaining earlier, the Riskelian kingship doesn't really have a great relationship with our elves that live here. It's a bit strained. There are some extremists, pockets here and there, freedom fighters, who rise up to fight us, and we quell it time and time again. Little fires to put out, here and there. If they would really gather, maybe they could take a city, but I don't think they will. And all of them dream to turn Riskelia into another elven kingdom, like what has been established in Merenthal. I don't know what you know of it there, but it is... there is an elven kingdom there. They've been given a third of the land to back. And in the last, 30 years ago, there was a new treaty signed where Merenthal and Calistoga both gave up a significantly larger portion of land to them, and they have a thriving kingdom now. And so they've got an elven homeland. But I think the elves here would like to see something like that. But I think they're a bit more militant and they'd like to see it all. I don't think they're going to settle for some. We were hoping to ease tensions between Riskillian kingship and the elves here by getting her on our side. And, well, didn't go well. So, he made a mistake. And I think the decision was to put him in kind of a sweaty armpit of a job, which was to be my lieutenant and train new soldiers. And he didn't like that. But that was mercy. He very well could have been executed for disobeying orders. Well, I tend to agree with you. And that was my input into the conversation. They asked me, hey, we plan on sending this guy your way, and here's why. And I said, execute the traitor. Traitor is up for debate, but at the very least, he disobeyed orders. And I don't know, the more I got to know him, the more I really pitied him. He was kind of a kid. A bit of a whelp, but yeah, it's hard to pity him now. So, beyond that, I guess he just got tired of the mercy that was given to him because he didn't like the subjugation. And must have decided that he'd be in better hands serving the Taproasian emperor. Which is interesting. So now I'll read this letter.
Yeah.
He turns. You guys are just kind of left in this silence and pregnant pause in the room as he just reads through this letter, and you watch him just kind of shake his head about halfway through, then nod. And if you remember, like, what it says, he's basically, this is a letter from Larch to the Emperor of Taproasia. Now, whether this is a copy of a letter that he did send, or this is a letter he had yet to send, you don't know. At the very least,
dated or anything.
Yeah. At the very least, well, even if it was.
Yeah.
At the very least, this letter clearly demonstrates that he very much intended to betray everybody here and already was. He had, as far as he was considered, no love for who he was serving under and for any, like, he had no respect for Riskillia to try and bolster them and keep them safe. And he just wanted, more than likely, to see people who had scorned him, as far as he was considered, burn and be a part of something that he thought was greater, which was this new kingdom. And by the end of it, you see Trake just kind of wipe this bit of glassiness at the base of his eyes. I didn't love the kid, but it is kind of heartbreaking to see somebody, even as much of a worm as him, who was given such mercy. It's kind of heartbreaking to see them turn around and stab you in the back so heartlessly. Would have liked to see him turn his life around, but I know that our kingdom is safer with him gone.
So are you. He was trying to kill you.
I think you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to fully do a bit of a detox with my waitstaff. And they've been investigating every nook and cranny of my manor, and they did this morning find a loose brick in the kitchens where there was a little bit of a pocket, and in it was a vial of poison.
Oh.
My understanding is this is probably where he was storing it before giving it to that servant who was unknowingly poisoning me.
Do you know her name, by the way?
Whose name?
The kid's.
The kid's? Oh, did you not ask her mother?
I did not feel like it was the right time.
Her name was Mercy.
Of course it was.
Her name was, I'm going to live a long and happy life. It's terrible that she was cut short.
No, I'll be honest with you, I did not know her name beforehand. But this has convicted me, and I will invest more personally into each of my waitstaff.
They might not want to kill you as much if you do.
Yeah. I don't think any of them wanted to kill me.
No. Maybe that chef.
My understanding is that she was being... Oh, the chef is an interesting man, is he not? Yes, I believe she was being tricked, right?
Yeah.
Into giving me medicine, and that she wasn't supposed to say anything because I was embarrassed of my disease. And I pity her family, and I feel great shame knowing that she, a child, was put in such a position and then to lose her life over it. I will carry that the rest of mine.
As will I. Do you know if she had any siblings or anything else about her family?
What I've been reminded is she and her mother lost her father a few years back to a stone quarry accident. He was stationed in Sunwall, and he was making a decent amount of money in the stone quarries there and sending it back to them, and he died. And in need of work, she and her mother petitioned me to work as maids and servants, and I was in need of some, and I brought them on my staff, and they've been with me for a few years actually, and very dutifully, and it was sweet to have the laughter of a young girl in the manor again. And she was growing out of that, I suppose, but she did bring a light to the manor that I haven't seen in many years. My daughter is grown and gone, you know.
Moved off.
You know, children are a gracious gift from the divine that you want to hold on to for as long as you can, and it is sad to see them go. I certainly miss mine, so it was wonderful to have her, and I hate to lose her in this way now. Makes me think I should maybe write to mine.
Probably should. I bet you would enjoy that.
And, contemplating retirement, really, if I'm being honest. But it's such a crucial time. I know the Sovereign would be remiss without me. Not because I serve any special power, or because I provide one, but just because men follow me.
Well, hopefully you'll get your rest soon.
I'd like it. I think for me to get my rest, as I grow weary and I want to spend time with my grandchildren, I need to see this war to an end first, and then I can take my rest.
That's a big task. Before rest.
Well, part of me hoped to see Larch take my place, if he shaped up. But with him gone now, I think that the Divine is sending me a clear and present message. I wasn't meant to do that. I was meant to see this through. I've been stationed here for 20 years. These men are my men, and it is not my place to hand them away to some young, essentially foreigner. They're my men. And if this city is taken, it'll be taken while I'm leading the defense.
Well, I know our country is in good hands when you're in charge, so...
You say our country. Are you born here?
No. Just a traveler visiting. I've only been here about 6 months.
6 months? Wow. Well, I must say it's honorable to hear you speak in such a way, because passers through are so very rare to say things along the nature of our country when you don't even come from here. So, and the service you've done for us is remarkable. Have you considered seeking citizenship here?
Not really. I like moving about. I was up in the north for a little bit.
Probably don't like paying taxes either, I imagine.
That's always something to skip if you can.
Well,
but
be careful, they'll catch you at the border sometimes. Luckily for you, war is taking people's time right now, but if this was not in wartime, Riskelian tax collectors are very litigious, let me tell you. My wife was from Ishana, and originally when I married her, obviously we were not in wartime, they were quick to catch us for her citizenship, or else they had racked up quite a number of charges. And it just so happened to be that once we gained her citizenship, her retroactive taxes were about the same amount of those charges. So
interesting.
They're litigious. They'll squeeze every copper out of you if they can.
How
Well, wartime, they're probably not as keen on catching you.
That's good.
But they have some magics in their employ that help them find you. If you're found to have been in here for over a year and not at the very least started some form of citizenship paperwork, there's just some hefty fees you have to pay.
I'll keep that in mind.
Sure. And citizenship is certainly not impossible to acquire. And it comes with some perks. It allows you to buy property within the kingdom and other things, but...
I'm more of a nomad than a property.
Understanding. Well, I mean, really what it is if you are a quote-unquote nomad, but enjoying the luxuries of the kingdom, they just ask for a flat fee every year for you to enjoy it, regardless of the amount of time you spend. So... And then if I think it racks up every few years. It gets larger and larger. Oh, no, I take that back. After a year, it goes month to month. That's how it works.
Jeez,
my wife was here for 3.5 years, and I just didn't think it was important. No, I mean, the government, you'd think I would have known. I didn't think it was so important, but she was beautiful. We were starting a family. I didn't really care. And then they caught us, and she brought me a paper that said that she owed just an exorbitant sum that I could have paid, I suppose, but I thought, well, no, we'll get you citizenship and then it'll go down. And then really it just ended up being that for the next 5 years, they divided that number out amongst her regular taxes. Then her taxes went down after that 5 years, so we ended up paying that amount anyway, but over a slower, longer period of time. The government, man, they just...
Speaking of money...
Taxing.
The bounty that...
Yeah. Right. Speaking of taxes being allotted to those who deserve it. See, this is what our taxes should be used for. Back to the people.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. You're now like taking your face out of your book to look at the people's hand.
You got so much of that background down.
I have more written down now.
I'm sure, yeah.
I have the whole map. It is literally his map is now transposed into my...
Nice.
Yeah.
So he does offer forward this small little box, and in it you see 100 pieces of platinum, which is 1,000 gold.
Is that okay?
So here is your bounty for eradicating those criminals. That crew. But he does just explain. Koresh, thank you. Yes, Koresh. No, I mean, there was no organizational name. This was a criminal, Koresh. He was a known serial killer and a repeat offender in a whole just list of crimes. But he was a nasty, nasty man. And just knowing that Larch was working with him too says a lot about Larch. So, subsequently, you must remember, you stopped a plot to undermine both me and the central hub of Riskelian military control, as well as eradicating a crew led by a disgusting, depraved serial killer. So well done.
So there is a bounty for Koresh?
That's what you just got, buddy.
Oh, there was no bounty for...
Nobody knew he was a bad guy. Why do we have a bounty on him?
Sorry.
Hey, I'm gonna put a bounty on my lieutenant.
I just don't trust him. So kill him.
Have you gotten anything out of Koresh in the night? Or is it gonna take a little while?
Oh crap, he was alive, wasn't he?
We got him alive. That's
I'm tired, I forgot.
There should be an extra bonus.
I let him rot in the cell all night. I'm gonna go talk to him tonight.
Okay.
Let him rot as long as possible.
Did you get
Maybe hit him
anything
in
out
the
of
ribs
Larch?
with that hammer.
Out of Larch, he's dead.
We killed Larch.
Larch is very dead.
How could I get anything out of him except for his entrails?
Does he still have his head?
His head? Yes, I didn't cut it off.
I could talk to him.
He should be halfway to the incinerator right now.
Would you like to ask him questions before he's...
I'm kidding, yeah. We're going to send his body to his parents. He may be a traitor, but they still deserve his body. You want to talk to him?
I was asking if you want to talk to him.
He's dead, man.
I think he might have a spell that can...
You have some sort of disgusting necromancy that can bring him back to life so I can talk to a dead traitor?
Honestly, I have no idea. Never done it before.
You think you can do this thing?
I hope. I'm just gonna look weird. Talking to a dead body.
Roll a persuasion check.
Guidance.
Guidance.
I've seen him do some crazy things. Advantage.
12.
Can I help? What's this?
My interest is piqued.
Okay.
I will take you to his body. It's in the barracks. May I ask what you plan on asking him?
Is for you.
You do this wonderful thing for me in my kingdom. Well, not my kingdom. And you offer me this gift to speak with the man who looked me in the eyes and said he was my brother. Remarkable. You're a selfless individual. I will take you to him now. Follow me. You are remarkable.
What'd you just do?
He just like started flying.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna step away from them real quick. Edovard, you take Gertrude back to her home.
Yes.
On the way back, you and her walking alone. I'm assuming nobody else is with you, right? You halfway back, she's been silent up until this point. Just slowly kind of limping along. And then you hear her, like, she stops for a second, you look over at her, she like goes, stretches back, pops her back really loud, and looks at you. I'm tired.
Here, and I offer a piggyback ride.
Yes.
How mighty kind of you. And she just, you'll have to squat down a little lower, I can't jump.
Yeah.
And she, go and make a strength check for me.
She's so fat.
No.
Athletics?
Athletics or strength?
Sure.
20.
Nice.
Okay. Regardless of your tired pain, you push through it for her. And this old woman just grabs onto your shoulders as you trudge along, and then fairly swiftly, still walking towards her house, as she just kind of whispers into your ear, "So, what happened while I was gone?"
Well, first, you don't have to steer me. I know where we're going.
Oh.
But we can...
Wait, this bandage means right, and this bandage means left, right?
You just start shouting rabble. Yes, they're both right.
We found you missing. Nothing much happened while you weren't here, except for us trying to find you.
Can I ask? They were scary men. Why did they want you? Why did they want me?
I think they were interested in the party as we were sniffing about. Did they ask anything about me?
Yes.
Specifically?
They asked if I knew who you were. I told them no.
Oh,
They asked if I knew why you were here. I told them no. I do think they knew I was lying. And so they took me away. A scary man. Very dark and mysterious. He knocked on my door. And I knew. I saw him walking up the street, so I knew something was wrong. So I put the kettle on. Did you get my message?
I believe so.
Good. I wanted you to know that I had been taken.
That was smart.
Thank you, I thought about it. I was afraid you wouldn't get it.
Ghurty, you are my best friend.
That's sweet of you, boy.
Closest person.
I did always say you reminded me of my late husband.
Yeah, yes, you did. It's getting about time for me to leave again, Fort Trinity.
But I only saw you for about a day, and then I was kidnapped.
Yes, I was thinking maybe you could come with me, and we could
settle you down someplace safer. We're on our way to Wild Valley.
What's unsafe? I've lived here in Fort Trinity my entire life. My husband and I settled here when we were young and youthful, and he was a mighty man. He built our house from scratch, and I feel as though I would dishonor him by leaving it.
Yes, but that man still knows where you are.
What?
The man that took you, he still knows where you are.
Did you not kill him last night?
No. We were unable to find him.
You may remind me of him. You may share his name. My husband wouldn't run, and so neither will I. And I mean that is no slight against you, Edovard.
No.
I think you are a wise and cunning young man, and I know you'll do great things for many people.
That's very kind. I wouldn't have it any other way.
You should serve to inspire.
In time.
Do you mean that?
No.
I wish you did.
Sometimes, so do I.
You did a great thing. You and these 7 others. Whatever you're called. People fingers or whatever.
People fingers.
The 8 of you are... There is no distinct leader. And someday there'll need to be. And I'm not necessarily saying it is you. But you could. I see greatness in you, Edovard. I wish you saw it in yourself.
You should lie down. I'll pick up the pace. Yeah. I don't know if she's asleep or not. I keep a keen eye out for jalapeno.
Okay. About this point, you're about halfway to her house. She sleeps the rest of the way just on your back. And then as you approach the house, roll a stealth check.
Dun, 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 dun. To keep her asleep?
Yes.
Okay.
I assume you didn't want to walk up to the house too, right? Or do you want to?
Yes.
Okay. Don't worry about the stealth check then.
Good.
Make a perception check.
Good. Do I keep that roll?
You can roll.
Should have kept the roll. Critical fail.
Critical fail?
Yeah. Or a 4.
Walking up to the house, door is closed. You see no one, no lights, no candlelight inside.
We left the door open. Is the window open?
You open the door?
I open the window.
Okay. You go reach for the door. You stop. You walk around to the back of the house. Walking through that little cramped area, you have to squeeze with her on her back. Still, she's sleeping. You see Lucky tied up back there, and he looking right at you. He's very excited.
I tell Soap to fly in through the window and just take a...
Okay. You carefully open up the window, lifting it up. Soap crawls underneath. What is he doing in there? Looking
just
around?
Checking each room.
Okay.
Clear.
He checks each room and then climbs back out the window. He just looks at you.
Does she have like a well, Ghurty?
No. There is a local well in this area that she has to go to every day.
I'll take her to her bedroom and then fetch water for Lucky.
So you go back around to the front door? Actually, there's a back door. Yeah, you grab hold of the door handle. It's locked still. You guys left it locked. You go to the front door. Door opens. On the floor, directly in front of the door, a body.
Soap? Did you miss that?
You didn't tell him what to do.
Chucky
He came out and looked at you and went, dude, what was he supposed to say? He can't talk. He can't talk.
To me, he can.
Oh, he can?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Check each room. Okay. By the way, there's a dead guy.
Well, we're going to play the cards as they land. As you walk in, Soap goes, as you open it, you look, you're just mortified. This dead body, robes sprawled out. Soap goes, oh, I forgot.
Bird brain.
I just love the
This body sprawled out. You see robes covering it. The distinct robes of Hal Apena.
Life check.
Okay.
Life check.
Roll a medicine check as you roll him over.
Critical fail.
Oh my god.
As you roll him over, his cold, clammy skin, he lies there. And you feel for a pulse, and then... Oh, man. I'm too ticklish.
He's cold like here.
Huh? I heard you walking about, and I played dead. I didn't know who you were.
You were supposed to come back to the hotel room.
I was?
Yes. Yes.
I did. I went back and you weren't there. I went back and you weren't there.
I was.
Oh my god.
You need to leave.
Don't you owe me something?
No.
Yes,
you
you do.
owe me something.
I do not. What do I owe you? It's like a fake nose like falls off of his where he would look like you. I do not owe you anything.
You owe me.
Do you not owe me some compensation?
You owe me a look at your book, your wizard book.
I don't remember that. See ya. And he like starts to walk out the door.
Grab him.
Huh?
Excuse me.
Excuse you. I am Hal Apena. Future Grand Wizard.
So spicy. I hate this guy.
And spiciest man in Resquilia.
Do I see his book?
No. Make a perception check.
Can my bird help me?
You have him like circle around you? Sure.
Sick. I'm gonna need it. Thank goodness. 15.
15?
Yeah.
You see like the lump of his book underneath his robes, and he kind of like covers it with his hand.
I go for it.
No!
Yes.
No.
Yes. I keep going.
Make a dexterity check.
What is this? Who is this guy?
Jalapeno.
Damn. 6. He's jalapeno.
Okay, you grab it. He rolled a he rolled a crit fail.
Jalapeno knows he's in a game.
You reach forward, and he, in an attempt to like brush away, he brushes his robe away, revealing the book, and you grab the book and pull it away. Oh! Fine. What do you want?
I want to see if you
Good
have
luck. It is all coded by my own mental bank of code.
I open it.
It's all written in common.
You open it. I mean, it is in arcane runes. It would require some deciphering. I have been trained under the tutelage of grand wizards.
I'm gonna take Ghurty to her bed, put her down.
Oh, there's an old lady on your back.
Yes.
Was she there the whole time?
Yes.
I believe you.
I believe you.
Is this the lady you were looking for?
Yes.
You were not lying. She is beautiful. As he like pushes her hair to the side. This is your wife then?
No.
Oh. Very good.
She's married.
Oh.
To with that man.
I'm just gonna sit on the couch, put together a list of meat pie ingredients, and look at that book.
Okay. You're putting together a list of ingredients, and occasionally glancing over at the book. Fine. And he like reaches to shut the book. Listen, I'll give you a spell. A spell I'm particularly favorable of. Out of my book. Do we have a deal?
Deal.
Now you are not the wizarding type. You are the type who can learn certain types of spells, am I wrong?
Yes.
What kinds of spells can you know? You half-blood?
All.
All? Wait, what?
Well,
I just said, you're not the wizard. You know the types of spells.
And
do
I
you know?
said no.
Oh, I thought you said
and then
yes.
you just kept talking.
I thought you said yes.
No. I can't cast much higher than rudimentary spells at the time. At the moment.
Not power level. I mean, schools of magic. You're not limited in any way. I thought you like sword mages were like limited.
I am So much more than sword mage.
Sure, buddy.
Spell?
I'll give you a more powerful one if you give me one of yours.
I can't copy it into my spellbook if I can't cast it, so...
What? Oh. So you want something in the first or second year or so? I can make this thing happen.
I can make this thing happen.
What a guy.
I'm looking for everything I can get my hands on.
What kind of thing are you looking for? I have a small library.
Fine scheme.
Spit out of my... Dude, I wish.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to manipulate the mass of an object? Do you want to manipulate gravity?
Like a...
Do you want to conjure small things out of the thinness of air?
Oh, yes.
That one? You don't want the other ones?
No.
What about always being a bit faster, quicker to the punch?
I think I can do that already.
You can already do that?
I think so.
Whatever.
Whatever.
You... And he looks at the book real quick, and you watch the pages kind of flip around on their own, and he shuts it, and you watch him kind of twirl his fingers around as he produces in his hand, seemingly out of nowhere, a small pewter statue of a dog. It's like beautiful pewter metal dog, like what like a tankard would be made out of. And you watch him, it disappears, and he opens his hand. Like he closes his hand around it, and he opens his hand, and it's gone.
Oh.
You might think that is merely sleight of hand. It is not. Watch me do it without moving my hand. I added showmanship. He holds his hand in front of you. You watch it appear, disappear.
You look down, there's 2 shattered pewter statues.
Pewter does not shatter. I can teach you this thing.
Yes. I would be grateful.
How much time do you need to take it from my book?
2 hours.
Fine.
You've been squatting here for like a day and a half.
I've been waiting for you to return. I thought you were coming back. And you did. Well, I went to the hotel and I found you weren't there, and so I came back here. You were very dishonest with me, if we're being honest. So you spend 2 hours, and how much money?
50 gold.
Okay. Do you have the materials? You're just spending that much
I need 50
materials?
gold in 2 hours.
Okay.
And his
So you burn up these materials, scratching in these fine inks into your book, and you learn the spell Wrist Pocket.
That's sick.
Which you can find. It's ritual, concentration up to an hour. It is a very fun spell to cast. Would you like to practice it with me? Are you capable of ritual casting?
Yes.
Spend 11 minutes with me. Are you ready? Let me show you a trick I've learned. If you hold the item in this way, while you do it, between your forefinger and your thumb, and you say the words in this way, and then he like dictates it to you for 10 minutes. Until you watch as he recasts the spell ritually, not to use a spell slot, and finally the dog disappears from his hand. What were you practicing it on?
I don't know the actual thing of the spell, so...
So you can flick your wrist, causing one object in your hand to vanish. The object, which only you can be holding and can weigh no more than 5 pounds, is transported to an extra-dimensional space where it remains for the duration.
That's cool.
And then you can use an action to resummon it. What do you want to practice it on?
An apple?
Okay. You grab an apple out of a bowl, and after 10 minutes, roll an Arcana check. Just for your first time trying it.
17.
Okay. You watch the apple starting to flicker, and then you like flick your wrist, and it is gone. Now, visualize the apple. Bring it back. Do you see where it is?
Yes.
Now, my apprentice, bring it back. The apple in your hand.
With a bite out of it.
Oh, the pig.
There's a yeah.
The pig. He's still alive.
Now, do you feel that tension of magic in your mind?
Yes, it's still.
You can hold on to that for up to an hour.
Oh.
So, with a quick flick of your wrist, it can disappear again and reappear. Only that object, you can't switch the objects.
Thank you. How?
It's one of my favorites.
Better go now.
It's late, though.
Is it?
It's like 1.
My friends and I are having a meal here.
Sounds delicious.
So I'd appreciate it if you could perhaps find some other.
Oh, that stings. You said your friends, I thought. Never mind what I thought.
How dare you?
Oh no!
This guy sacrificed life and limb.
Do you want all your face clay back?
And these, and he like starts pulling bandages off his face.
What if he got the disease?
Oh no. No, that's quite alright. You can keep them. Can I see your spellbook one more time?
Why?
I want to read it.
You just light it on fire.
I gave you one, like you said.
You're right. I shouldn't be.
Roll a persuasion check.
Ooh, I'm good at that. 16.
Here you go.
Wrist packet.
I have to kill you now.
I'm just kidding.
It would have taken. You would have had to cast the spell anyway.
You just wanted to hold it?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you live in town, or?
No.
You do not live in town?
No. Bit of a nomad.
Fine. If you ever find yourself in, where am I from?
Fort Trinity?
No.
I don't know, where is that accent from? Confirmed now in your world.
Well, he may have moved.
If you ever find yourself in Port Trinity, find me.
That's very kind of you, Hal.
I would like to trade spells with you again.
If you would like to...
And get one in return next time.
May stay for food.
Sorry?
If you'd like to, you may stay for the dinner we're having.
My heart is fuller. I will stay for food.
Alright.
If I will not be imposing.
Of course not.
I know you find me detestable.
No.
How kind of you.
I'm gonna go buy some food.
You're going to go buy food?
Yeah.
I will stay here and guard the house. With my life. My very life.
Plays dead again.
I was just gonna go buy stuff for meat pie.
Okay. As you walk out the door, he steps out behind you, like stands in front of the door, and you like turn around thinking he's coming with you, and then he doesn't. And as you're walking down the road, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Gosh, dang it. This moron. Ooh! 20.
Okay. This thick layer of grease beneath your feet appears. You start to slip, and you like get your foothold, like your footing, as you hear running away, and he turns. Never forget the name Jalapeno. I'm out, and then he like runs away.
Grease.
Oh crap. Ooh, 3.
Just got that spell.
And he slides like down a hill.
Gratitude.
Never get out of bed, y'all.
It was a spicy move.
He's just spinning. He's spinning down the road and he's gone.
All right, I'm glad that all happened.
I feel closure.
Me too.
Ghibli, you wanted to go to a brewery.
Yes, I forgot I was going to do that.
You make your way through town. Go ahead and roll either an investigation or a charisma check to see if you can find from people where to find a brewery.
All right.
A brewery would be... There wouldn't be many of them, if any, in like a military fort.
Well, I guess I was mainly spitting that one. Missed. I was mainly looking for a spot where it's not just a bar, but just a place where you could get like just buy like bottles, like finer wine or
but it wasn't that great anyways. 5.
Okay, was this investigation or?
Yeah, investigation.
Okay. Looking around, the best you come up with is a bar. This place is called. It's like a tavern. It's called the Sip and Swish. It's like a small little bar. You walk in and you do see various bottles all along the wall, and it seems like they primarily sell like wine and mead. They don't do the whole like here's a tankard of ale thing. So it's not like a bar, but it's like a higher end for a bar. But it doesn't seem like it's just a place where you just buy like bottles. You still drink it here, but it's also not a brewery. But it might be the closest thing in town. And you see as you walk in, this tall, skinny dude, long hair, like just like barely a bit of a mustache coming in, looks at you. Welcome.
Hello
to Sip and Swish. Can I get you a glass of wine?
I was here to purchase actually a bottle of wine, if that was all right.
I have a few things I have extra bottles of. What are you looking for?
What do you have to test real quick?
You want to try?
I would like to try. I want to bring a bottle.
5 gold pieces. Get you 4 testers.
I'll pay the 5.
All right. You can test any 4 of our 7 wines here. And he just like lists 7 different wines. I don't have 7 wine names, David. So I'll list a couple, and you could even just say like the name of one, like make up a name if you want. We say he has it, like this crazy wine name, like it would be something wild. So he's like, this is Boar's Tusk. It is an orcish wine. Would you like to try it? It is said to have a mulled spice to it.
Did you have something of a name called like the Azure Lagoon?
Azure Lagoon? Oh, I do. Would you like it? Yeah. And he gives you like a little bit of a little, just enough to sip it and swish it.
Yep. I just give it a quick test, taste of it.
Yeah, it tastes good. I don't know. It's up to you. Whatever you think. It tastes sparkly. It tastes sweet. If that isn't to your liking, let me give you this one. This one is Black Death. Now, the name implies that it wouldn't be good, but let me assure you, it is just very high in alcohol content, and that is why it's called the Black Death. You drink it in small amounts, but it has quite the flavor. It tastes like wood. Try it here. He gives you a little bit of it. Pretty spot on with what his description was.
Yeah, I taste it very cautiously.
Alcohol, wood, and a little bit of grape is what it tastes like. What do you think?
Rubbing alcohol.
Maybe something made by dwarves then.
That would be a nice change of pace.
This one's called Pebbles and Gems.
Sure. Hit me.
You can decide what that one tastes like if you want, Dave.
Well, I believe it would taste a little bit of like a kind of like a cinnamon hit of what would be more reminiscent of kind of like maybe like lava or magma.
Okay.
And so
he's like, you're a dwarf, so I imagine you like it.
Oh, what gave that away?
Stony undertones.
I just. And with a tiny hint of, oddly enough, cherry to it.
I actually like that one quite a bit. This last one, do you want to come up with a name? Actually, there'll be 2 left that you could pick from. So you come up with one, and I'll come up with one, and then Ghibli can decide which one he wants.
How about Dance Macabre.
Dance Macabre.
Yikes.
So my last 2 you can choose from here are Dance Macabre and Pig Farmer. Now don't let the name fool you. Pig Farmer is actually a very high-end bottle of wine. The whole bottle is 45 gold pieces. It is delicious. I'll tell you right now. It is sweet, smoky, mapley, delicious. Dance Macabre, it is like a dance along your tongue. Many individuals all enjoying a dance, a ballroom blitz, you might say, in your mouth.
I would like to try the... And I only have 1 taste, correct?
1 taster left, yes. You've tasted 3.
I would like to try the Dance Macabre.
Here you are. It's like a really dark purple. You taste it. It's weirdly kind of smoky, I would imagine. Kind Kind of tastes like the taste of cold.
I like that one. Not bad at all. I would like a bottle of the Dance Macabre and the dwarven one that you recommended me.
Oh, Pebbles and Gems.
Pebbles and Gems. I would like to get
favorite.
A bottle of each of those, please.
Okay, 15 gold pieces for the Pebbles and Gems. 25 for the Dance Macabre. You're looking at 40 gold pieces for the 2 bottles. You have very good taste, sir.
I appreciate giving your time up for me for this.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for coming in. Would you like a bag? Or would you like it gift wrapped?
A bag would be appreciated.
All right. He gives you just this little, like, not silk, but this kind of like soft, almost velvety bag that he puts the 2 bottles in and hands it to you. Enjoy your night on the town and your walk home.
Appreciate it, good sir. And I believe I don't believe I got your name.
Victor.
Victor. Ghibli. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Are you local nobility or just passing through?
I am just merely passing through. I will be out of the city in a few days.
Well, you have a noble air to you. I thought maybe you were nobility.
Well, not of this town, but I am of nobility, yes.
Oh, I have served noble blood today.
And
do you mind me asking from what noble house you come?
From House Karbanov.
Karbanov? I do not know this name.
Perhaps maybe you would hear it under the name of Leon Karbanov.
Oh, he was an old duelist. I don't keep track with the duels, but I do know the name. An old duelist, right?
He's long retired now, but
he's not a dwarf.
No, he is not.
Interesting.
It's complicated.
Well, it is an honor to have the son of such a renowned duelist. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much. And after this place, I also want to stop by. Would there be like a farmer's market around here?
Yeah, there's like a pretty standard market in the center town, like near the Coliseum. What are you looking for there?
I would actually find if there anyone like producing just like the freshest of orange juice by chance.
Okay, I'll say with relative ease, you find it's not orange juice, but you do find like because oranges probably wouldn't grow in this area. But you do find like this fresh pressed mixed berry juice, and for 6 silver pieces, you can get a jar of it.
I will more than gladly take one of those.
Sounds good.
And I give an extra 4 pieces of silver just
for a whole gold. Yeah, the guy. Thank you. Well, wait for that. Then let me give you. To keep the price so low, I actually water it down. So let me give you some just the real stuff. And he gives you a bottle of this isn't watered down as much.
I tip my hands I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Enjoy.
After that, with the 2 bottles and the mixed berry juice, I will start. I guess headed towards Gertrude's for this supper.
So just so Edovard knows, point of order, as you leave to go shopping, you see Ghibli walking up to the house. As you're wiping grease off your boots.
I was on my way to pick up stuff for dinner.
Oh, would you like help with it? Would you like company?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't need to roleplay you guys buying stuff for dinner, I'm assuming.
No.
But if you have a small list, what is on the list, I can just tell you a rough idea of how much you have to spend to get it. Just stuff to make meat pie.
Pastry, meat, vegetables.
Well, probably about a gold and 2 silver to get enough for everybody.
What do you make it 2 gold?
He bought really expensive wine. That was the point.
I know. He's insane.
I'm going to spend 2 gold. Make it nice meat.
Okay. So you get some better ingredients for 2 gold.
You know that song that
all right. Did we get to everybody? And now we're just on the blacksmith and the tannery, right?
Talking with the dead.
And talking with the dead. All right. Let's go real quick. Blacksmiths. The 2 of you at the blacksmith. As you get started. Sorry to get back to you so late. As you guys get started working on this armor. About that point, Clonus walks up with Holik. Right? You guys were going here?
I had a change of mind.
Okay, we'll get to that later then. So, you guys hammering away on this armor. It's going to take you a few hours, the majority of the rest of the day. So you'll be getting back for dinner this evening.
I'll stop by to drop off their stuff if that's...
Their money? Yeah. Sure, okay. So we'll say Clonus stops in just as you guys are like suiting up and like taking your armor off because you're going to be sweating. Clonus stops by, drops off 105 gold pieces or whatever for each of you, and then bounces. So now you guys have access to that money you made. And then, as he leaves, two of you, over the course of like 6 hours, give or take a little bit of time, if it goes really well or really poorly, I'm going to have you make some checks. It's going to be best 3 out of 5, whether this goes good or bad.
Can I pay the other smith some gold for his insight to give us advantage at all?
The guy who's letting you use this area?
Yeah.
I'm going to be working on what I'm working on, but if you want me to watch over you for the first hour or so, sure. Give me... roll a persuasion check first.
We just want to get it right. We want to go and protect some more people.
Forget it.
A 1?
Here's a 2, so it's 7.
I have a lot to see to here. I'm sorry. I have a lot to get to.
It's all right. It's all right.
Forget it.
So, two of you, you have the Smith's tool proficiencies, right, Titus? And I'm assuming you're just going to be helping him.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
explain to
following
me
his instructions.
how you are helping. Okay, you're like handing him the appropriate tools.
Well,
helping
I want
him
like
hold
if he
this.
needs me to hold something really steady, if he needs me to
So basically,
add strength somewhere.
Whenever something comes to me that I know what I have to do is going to be said to you in giant.
Yeah, perfect.
So there's this moment, Titus, where you're looking at the armor, and your mind just kind of melts a little bit. And language falls away. An understanding of, like, what you need, it's just ever present at the front of your mind. And you just reach your hand out, and you don't remember saying words, but Cephas starts handing you the right tools. And then kind of in front of you, you watch...
Very surprisingly at first.
You watch as the different pieces in your mind start to kind of pull apart, and you just start prying pieces off, taking the pieces off that need rebending and mending and to be restrapped in and hammered here and hammered there. You start immediately like working on the bellows, heating everything up, and just flashes of imagery in your mind. You see a silhouette of this massive man with magma pouring off of his shoulders, a huge hammer standing in front of this anvil the size of a small mountain. You watch as this hammer rains down from above and crashes into the anvil, and just that moment your vision snaps back to exactly what you're doing, and your motion matches that motion of this image in your head, something you've never seen before, and then sparks flying in every direction. And Cephas, Titus, his eyes kind of glaze over a little bit, and you see a fire deep in his eyes, reflecting from nothing. And he just speaks in giant to you. His voice a little deeper than before.
You know giant?
Yeah, it's fairly new to me.
His voice now back to normal. And then this image in your head again as you begin to hammer this out, flattening it and then recurving it along the appropriate places. And as you do, you're just glancing at Cephas's frame, taking mental notes, and then glancing back.
Now you'll notice I have like metal braziers on my wrists. There's a rune on one that's kind of just a dull glow, kind of like the heat of a forge.
Go ahead and roll a with advantage, a check with your Smith's tool. So it's proficiency, and I'm going to make this strength and proficiency. Actually, for this first one, I'm sorry, because it's the beginning, and you're like calculating it out. It's going to be intelligence plus proficiency.
Okay. So, 7. 22.
22. Okay. Carefully, you're looking at Cephas, kind of taking mental measurements, nodding, going back, saying something in giant in this deeper voice that is almost not yours, going back. So this first hour of work goes by where you are carefully parsing apart the pieces of this plate armor, reforming them, reorganizing them in different spots, and putting little marks here and there where you need to bang out this dent, change the shape of this, change that, all for Cephas's frame, because this is going to be for him, right? Okay. For the second hour, now working on this first pile of stuff, it's the lower portion of the plate. Go ahead and make, using your strength and proficiency.
You've got it.
22 again.
Wow. Okay. The primary portion of the body, this second hour, it's going pretty well. Cephas, you're watching just
amazed.
Like a skilled artist.
I don't even want to talk because I'm just like, I don't want to interrupt the flow you are in.
All right.
I just do everything you say wordlessly.
Now, kind of piecing apart this next section, the shoulder portions of the plate armor and the helm. Go ahead.
What am I? Strength again?
This will be strength, yeah.
26.
Wow.
Okay.
3 hours has gone by, and you are working effortlessly, basically. You watch, he's quickly. And Titus is just like almost not talking until he just goes like, tongs, hammer, tongs, give me that piece. And it's in giant each time. I'm going to have you keep rolling, but only to see how well you finish it. Now, I'll say, working ahead of schedule, you've moved on to the leg portions, the rest of the armor, and it's done. Now you need to piece it all together back to its original leather frame and make sure it all fits nicely, fastening it carefully. This one will be intelligence and proficiency.
1925.
You rolled incredibly well. I'm impressed.
I have a +6 because my proficiency's doubled with it. And then
So with that,
another perk of being well-rounded is I have no negatives.
I'll say spending this extra amount of time to make sure it's done well, but you finish it all in about 4.5 hours rather than 5.5, which is what the guy said was minimum needed. And incredible work. And you watch at this last like 45 minutes, you're watching Cephas. He's not asking for help as he's piecing this together, and that other guy walks up beside you, Richter, just watching. And he kind of, how old is this kid again?
I'm beginning to wonder if he's a kid at all.
Do you know where he learned to do all this?
No, but he says it's new to him.
Yeah, he told me he didn't learn it, that he just knows it. Confuses me. All right.
Well, Ilmater does crazy things.
Few journeymen can do it as fast as he is. This is impressive.
Well, we didn't use your place for as long as we needed it.
That's true. You were an hour shorter than I thought. You did use the resources, though. But I'll throw 20 gold back at you. He just hands you 2 platinum.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
I hand it to
Titus is just kind of like looking at the armor. Doesn't even pay you mind.
I slip it into his pocket.
Okay. Titus, you are looking at this armor, sitting on its frame, cooling, all of it, now needing to rest for some time. Because it's not red hot, but it's still warm and hot and cooling on this rack. And you're looking at it, and a silhouette just kind of fills the armor. And you kind of just sit there. The rest of the world around you kind of fading away into this strange gray smoke. And you just see the silhouette filling it. And it's as if the silhouette turns and looks at you, standing in this armor. And then, like, looks off to the sky, looks back at you. And some words, not spoken, you don't hear a voice. These words just, like, resonate with you. 3 words. And like I said, you don't hear a voice with them. It's just as if they're written before you, but they're not. The ordning, O-R-D-N-I-N-G, calls. The ordning calls. And then this silhouette disappears. And you're standing within this smithy. And both of them just looking at you. And then you're just like, you're Chip herself.
Not bad for my second time, huh?
That is not bad at all.
And I just am admiring the piece, and I walk up to it and I feel it. Is it still hot to the touch?
Yeah, it would be uncomfortable to wear.
Okay, but
it needs some time to cool.
Hey, Rick,
Admiring it.
do you know what an ordning is?
But you can touch it without burning yourself. I'm sorry?
An ordning? Do you know what that is?
Can say that I do. I've never. Have you heard this word?
Have I?
Make a history check with advantage.
I mean, it's going to be 10 or 11.
Nope, doesn't strike a chord. There's something about like the phonetics of it or the sound of it that almost sounds kind of familiar, but you're not sure why.
Okay.
Not in the sense that maybe you've ever heard it before, but it's like knowing Latin and hearing a word that's probably derived from Latin and thinking like, oh, maybe I could see its roots, but you're not sure why.
Ordination.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for letting us use your space.
Thank you for gracing us with such a display.
Yeah, that was fun.
You can leave it here to cool and pick it up tonight if you'd like.
Oh, that would be great. We can go get stuff for dinner. I smelled sweet rolls earlier. I want to get those for sure.
Is it just air cooling?
Yeah.
No, I want to take it and show all my friends tonight.
All right.
They'll be impressed. Very impressed. 2 platinum in your pocket, by the way.
Oh, well, why don't you just add it to the...
And I will.
Well, good to see you again, Titus. If you're in town for an extended period of time and you want some part-time work, you're welcome to work here. I'll pay you.
Okay, I think we're heading out tonight, but I'd love to swing by when I come back in town.
All right. Don't tell the others, but I'll pay you better than my apprentices. And one of them is standing in the... You look over his shoulder and you see one standing in the doorway just like looking at you. And then he slinks away into the shadows. Okay, so you guys make your way. Is there anything specific you want to quickly just say you're buying? I can give you a price for like food.
Sweet rolls.
Sweet rolls? All right. 4 silver pieces, you can get a set of 12 sweet rolls. Byron and Holick. Or Clonus and Holick, excuse me. Clonus, you're going to the tannery.
Yes.
What are you looking for?
I'm writing up on Oberon, and me and Oberon are looking for, or I am looking for, saddlebags.
Saddlebags?
I'm looking for like a simple saddle, nothing massive, but I'm also looking for like 2 bags, like where I can put my bedroll, where I can put all my gear that I'm going to collect over the next 50 years.
Okay. So you go up and you see, you see a tannery that seems as though it would have this sort of thing. A halfling approaches you. What brings you in? What can I get you? Oh, you have a mighty steed. I haven't seen a dwarf riding a ram in nigh 200 years.
Exactly. I do need some bags and a saddle for my steed.
You've come
here.
to the right place. I am a fine saddle maker, probably the best on this strip. Okay, custom saddle for a ram. I certainly don't have any standard saddles that would fit a steed of this size. And 2 saddlebags to accompany it? How big?
Yeah, I think that would do. I'm curious what pricing would be on that. The saddle could be... I don't need the saddle as much as the bags, per se, but...
I noticed you're riding it with no saddle.
Let's see what deals you have.
For a custom saddle, you're looking at 100 gold pieces. And for the accompanying bags, you're looking at another 55 minimum, depending on the size. So if you just want the bags and something to sling over him to fasten the bags to him, I'll do it for 80 gold pieces.
And then the saddle is 100?
Confirmed, yes.
100 and then 50 for the bags.
55 for the bags. If no saddle and just a sling to attach the bags to him, you're looking at 80.
Is there anything else you would recommend for a ram like this for going into the unknown? Maybe into battle at some points?
Into battle. Have you considered barding or armor?
I was thinking armor, but I don't know right now.
It's going to run you fairly expensive.
That's what I thought.
And I'm not going to be able to do that myself. I suppose, actually, I could put together some leather barding. It would probably run you, 150 gold pieces for the... Well, no, 200 gold pieces for the leather barding.
Well, leather barding, I'm not familiar with this. What is that?
It's like an armor. It's a lighter armor made of leather for your steed. You're probably more protected, obviously, with a metal. I could do a studded leather, but you're going to be better off with ring mails. Some sort of scale mail.
Something more metallic.
Yes, but if you would like a studded leather armor, I could do that for 250 gold pieces.
How long would it take?
That, I have custom measurements, 4 days.
4 days. I don't think I have the time for that, but thank you for the offer.
I could do 3 if you need.
3 days?
We get it on the way back.
What?
Can we get it on the way back?
We could get it on the way back. Would you take half down now and then I come back? I have to head south and then I'm going to be heading north past here again.
Okay.
Would I be able to do half down to have it made up, and then the rest on return?
Certainly. Studded leather for $250. Would you like the saddlebags?
Definitely.
I can attach those for another $45 to the armor.
Could we do a strap for free right now? And then when I come back, I will return the strap, and we will have them mounted to the armor upon my return.
So I give you bags and a strap for free.
Right. The bags I will buy at $55.
And you want me to throw in the strap system for free?
The strap system for free right now. And then when I return, we will have armor with the saddle and the bags being able to be attached to it.
Roll a persuasion check. So what you'd be paying today is 180. 55 plus 125 for the half of the...
And that half is 150, and that's armor and a saddle mount, like a saddle position.
The armor thing was going to cost you 250, so half that's 125. The bags without any straps or anything like that was 55. So you're looking at 180 today if you succeed this.
Yeah, and then I was asking for the saddle position was in the armor set, so there's like a saddle position on it.
He'll put something, yeah.
Okay, cool. Persuasion.
That's just purely going to be well. What'd you get?
15.
15?
Yeah.
He goes, I could do this. The saddle won't be for comfort; it will be for function. So it will basically protect that portion of him. If you would like a comfortable saddle for long rides, which, like, just so you know, like, you don't need this guy for what this magically is formed.
I know that I don't need that. He doesn't know that.
No, but that's why he's not offering. But he's not offering that. He's saying this will be a functional thing to protect him. If you'd like a comfortable saddle for long periods of time of riding, you're going to need to pay another 40 gold pieces.
I will do. I don't need the comfortable saddle, but the saddle and the armor for function and protection would be good.
And just so Byron knows, what that will change his AC to with that armor will mean when you return and get it, the armor I believe is going to be a 13 AC now instead of 11.
So basically boosted by 2.
Yeah. It's just a flat AC of 13.
And then also for Byron to know, if he passes away, does the armor regenerate with him, or does the armor just like stare?
This armor would just fall off, and you'd have to put it back on him when you resummon him.
Now I need a small bag of holding to hold my armor.
You guys have a wagon.
I know.
That's as if he dies. But you don't even get the armor today. He's going to give you. He has some saddlebags that he can quickly fit, probably to Oberon.
But I'm gonna be out the half if I don't take it.
If you don't come back and get the armor?
Yeah.
Well, you will.
You will.
I know.
There you go.
But is it a good idea? No, this is Byron thinking. Is this a good idea? Because if he passes away, then I'll have to carry armor, slug around with some armor until I resummon him the next.
Yeah. Oh, after you've come back and picked it up and do that? Yeah, that's true.
And the bags also.
Just don't let him die.
Just don't let him die.
Don't let him die, yeah.
Bird don't die.
Do we have a
Or
deal?
ram don't die.
180 gold pieces today, and I give you bags with the appropriate straps. And then on your return, whenever,
120.
125 for the armor is half of the armor price, and 55 is for the bags that you're getting today.
Perfect.
So 180 in total.
180 today, and then another 125 upon return.
Correct, sir.
About 3-4 days. We'll give you can do 4-5 days. It'll take me a while.
Yes, I'm assuming you're going north, then you're going south and then going north. So I'm expecting not to see you till like next month, I'm assuming.
Exactly.
But it will be here ready for you and have been ready for weeks. So, remember the name Vino.
Vino.
I'll see you in a month or so.
Sounds about right. And you can take the measurements now, and I just...
Yeah, you look over as you're saying that, and you notice 2 young halflings doing it right now. My kids are on it.
And they're getting the straps set up right now.
Correct.
Perfectimo.
Have a wonderful day, sir. And what was your name so I can write it down for the armor?
Clonus.
Clonus. Okay. Matt, what were you saying?
Well, I just was going to have Titus talk to Richter to see if he has any dwarven size splint that I could maybe exchange my splint for, my much bigger splint.
Okay.
Even swap for a smaller piece of armor.
Asking him, he will... I do have a dwarven-sized one. It should be for a standard dwarf, as long as they're not rotund or emaciated. It should be fine and suitable. I'd rather size the man up first, but...
Would this fit, Titus?
Could I tell if it would fit Clonus?
I'll you can use your proficiency and intelligence.
17.
Fairly certain it would. I mean, you might have to tighten some straps here and there, but like it's made to fit someone of his size.
Yeah, that should work.
I'll make the trade, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Richter.
Thank you. Larger size. I mean, this size should fit more of the type of customer I'm getting. Not a lot of dwarves in the area. I've been holding on to this set for a little while, so pleasure doing business with you.
Thank you.
All right. Holik, was there something you were doing?
Oh, I was before we left. I was gonna do the forearm shake.
Okay, with Trake.
With Trake and.
So rewinding a little bit.
Yeah.
Trake kind of.
Do not let the fort city fall.
Not in my lifetime. If the fort city falls, it's because I'm dead. If we are in distress, would you come to our aid?
Yes. If there is that army mounting in Goldacre, please let me know.
I sense allegiance in you, and I appreciate that. Thank you for your service to us, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you again under similar and possibly more dire pretenses. Go in peace, friend. Or was that it?
Yeah, and then I was just gonna go back to Ghurty's.
Okay.
I thought better of my money.
Everybody reconvenes at Ghurty's house tonight. Dinner. Prepared. Sweet rolls. I'm sorry, Lumen. I forgot. I'm sitting, facing away from you.
Speak with the dead.
Lumen. You'd be going with him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would want be with.
So, the four of you... No, Clonus isn't there. He went to the armor. Holik, Lumen, and Venora, after this little thing is discussed with Holik, you guys make your way to the barracks, where you are taken beneath the barracks, past some guards, into a cell. And in this cell, you see on the table various dead bodies, and one of them in the corner on this table, you see cleaned up and dressed, you see Larch, being prepared to basically be boxed up and shipped back to his family. In the next room, you hear some chains rattle as you guys walk in, and there's some cage doors right there. You hear,
"Whoa. You all come down here to gloat, have you? Just to see your enemy beaten to a pulp?"
And you see just lumbering towards the bars, this beaten and bloodied, bruised face, stringy black hair hanging in front of it. You see Koresh grabbing the bars and looking through, his eyes swollen, so just these little slits of eyes, one of them barely visible, the other one not.
"Little gloat of you. Why, you here see me?"
Is he beaten more at all? Maybe the guards got...
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you know certain types of criminals get real hurt in prison?
I make sure to walk on the opposite side.
Well, I'll say for a moment, it scares the crud out of you because you hear the chains, don't really think anything of it, and then he just comes into light, and you're standing there, and you kind of rush away, and he sees you, and he grins, just multiple teeth missing.
Hey there, little lady. I remember you. You're pretty broken, aren't you?
I look a lot better than you do now. I just walk away.
Yeah, I'm gonna step in between them and just not respond.
Trake whistles, and you hear two guards lumber in, and they start down the cage door, and they start just jabbing at him with spears to get him to go to the other side. And they basically shut him up, but he just kind of chuckles as he limps away.
Penance is coming. Something's coming for you all. You aren't gonna like it. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it and cherish every moment of it. It's the only thing getting me through these nights is knowing sooner or later you're all gonna be dead. Shut up! Remember me in your final days. Remember me the day you shut your eyes for the last time.
What's his name again? I forgot.
I don't know.
His name is Koresh. He's a sadistic, disgusting human being He said he bathes in the blood of his victims and cherishes in the thrill.
Looks like it's bad for your hair.
You just hear a distant. Oh, but it's good for my soul. You know, I'll see her soon. I will. I'll see her soon. And you hear it. Don't keep jabbing. Sorry about that. Let's, should we talk to, Larch? How are we doing this?
Do you have any incense?
No. You didn't mention that you needed that beforehand and you asked me now? You think I just carry incense? You think there's incense in a dungeon? Bring that up when we're walking through the market square, dude.
Wait, do either of you guys have a priest back?
Actually, I don't know. I might have had that, or...
If you do, you have incense in that.
Okay. If not, you guys wait for like 20 minutes as he sends one of the guards to go get some incense. And come.
back, sorry.
Okay, so 20 minutes goes back, a guard comes back. Here's some incense, boss. All right, thank you.
Oh no, what else do you need?
That's it.
Oh.
That would be great.
I also need.
I need a wine spritzer.
One of the unicorns.
Do you have any cucumber sandwiches?
Ghibli's down?
Whoa!
All the wine.
Oh, yeah. Not the voice, yeah. I need a wine spritzer and cucumber sandwiches. You like, oh, Ghibli's down there?
You've already scored me with the farts.
Hey there, folks. My name's Jude.
That was not me.
I know. That was Matt.
Hi there, folks. It's me, Jude Crane.
There we go.
There
All
we
right.
go.
So you light some incense. This dark room now glowing in the center, this little pile of incense. I don't like the way this feels. What are we doing?
I have no idea. It's my first time. But I think you can ask him like 5 questions or, you can try 6, but it probably won't work.
I'll take 2, you each take 1. Does he have to answer me truthfully?
I don't think so.
Zone of truth. Oh. Can you zone of truth?
A dead man?
A dead man?
Let me look.
Interesting.
Wait, is Zone of Truth concentration?
That's right.
You might not be able to cast both, but she could cast one.
Oh, this wasn't concentration.
Because you're also...
You can't speak. You can't speak with dead, and then you can't say.
So the truth is not concentration.
Oh.
I neither speak with that.
Guards against deception, a 15-foot radius, centered on a point of your choice within range. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell area for the first time. But I don't know if speak with dead makes it a creature, because it's not a creature when it's dead.
No.
It says no?
It's not a creature. It is what is left after the creature dies.
Okay.
Interesting. It would be a good idea, though.
All right, let's do this. Let's get it over with, man. It's freaking me out to be down here. I got 2 questions. That's it.
Can we all ask them, or does it have to be you asking them? How does
you ask the corpse up to 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers are brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer a truthful answer if you are hostile to it, or recognizes you as an enemy.
Okay. So we'll see what he says. My questions are this. 1. Are his parents allied with him? And do I, how do I word this? Are his parents sympathetic to his cause? Or are they uninvolved? That's my question number 1. Number 2, did he send the letter that I got? Or was that yet to be sent? That's all I need. Ask him those, and I'll be set.
So was this the
you
letter
want to write
that
those
we
down?
just gave you?
Yes, the letter that was in his safe. Was that a copy of a letter already sent, or was that yet to have been sent? That's all I need to know.
Do you want to write those questions down?
Yeah.
When he's cast the spell and we're doing this, you guys can say your questions. We can say that Lumen says it through you if you want.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. So you create the spell?
Yeah.
You start the ritual. You see as these lights begin to... This like dust
poofs off of Lumen's wings, and then little twinkling lights all throughout the room start spinning, and then the incense lights it all on fire and all burns up quickly. And then you watch as Lark's body, it like jerks around, its bones popping, and then his eyes open slowly in his mouth. And he looks at Lumen. His glassy eyes. As his face is looking at Lumen, then his eyes look at you.
I have
He
a question.
slowly, like, sits up slightly.
Are your parents?
Sympathetic to his cause.
Are they sympathetic to your
To
cause?
his traitor's cause.
The cause of being a traitor to this.
No. They're clean.
Can I do insight checks?
Sure.
Okay.
With disadvantage. Because, I mean, he's a husk.
9.
Actually, you know what? I'll just give you a straight roll. I'm just going to give it a higher DC. How about that?
Oh, okay. Do you want me to read?
There's no reason. It's not like you're at fault. Just take the average of those two. How about that?
Okay. 16.
Okay. You're uncertain.
Cool.
It's a high DC.
Yeah.
Because it's like any facial tells that existed in him no longer exist. So if he's choosing to lie, it's like just deadpan lie or deadpan truth. There's like almost indiscernible.
Yeah.
You remember the second question, right?
Yeah, sorry, I was getting distracted by the incenses and glowing light.
They smell very good.
The letter that was inside your safe. Was it already sent? Or was it... Or is it?
Yet to be sent.
A copy.
I already sent it. It was a copy.
15.
15. Undiscernible.
Yeah.
He is on your doorstep. Good enough for me. What are your questions for the corpse so we can get out of here?
What entity gave this scythe its power?
Your scythe. What entity gave it its power?
He actually does turn to look at Holic, but his eyes are still looking at Lumen.
An impersonal being that I never met, but one that gave me great power.
That's all he says.
Gross.
What'd you roll?
16.
Undiscernible. Next question.
Druvir or Valcony, if he's ever heard those names.
Have you ever heard of Druvir or Valcony?
Yes. Only one of them.
17.
Indiscernible.
Gosh, flipping.
Last question, Lumen, it's yours.
What's your favorite color? Cryptic.
It's on the other color spectrum you wouldn't understand.
I get closer to him so other people can't really hear me.
Oh.
Okay.
And I whisper as much as
As much as Lumen can.
Yeah. Do you know where I could find more information about Tsurugrami?
Good question. Yes. From her followers. And the blood of your enemies.
And then he crashes onto the table.
I don't know if I need to insight check that one.
Trait kind of, I did not enjoy that.
Neither did I.
Thank you for the questions, though. I feel, well, worse and better. I'm going to take him at face value. I wasn't going to necessarily lead an intense investigation on his family, but I won't lead one beyond some rudimentary understanding. Thank you for that. I needed some closure.
Where do his parents live?
In the capital, Steelhaven. All right, thank you. Have a good night.
I let Drake know what I asked of him.
You tell Trake what you asked him?
Yeah, just him though.
Yeah, that's creepy. I would have said the same thing, and I'm glad I didn't tell you anything else, because don't get mixed up with all those Tsugarami people. They're not good. They're bad news, man. There's a reason she's banned from being worshipped in Resgilia. She's an evil and disgusting goddess. Teprazians love her, though. So do the Calistogans. Alright, he ushers you guys out of the barracks, back to Ghurty's house. Oh, one more?
He ushers us
Could I
all the
just
way.
No.
could I just say her name as I go by the
By Koresh?
yeah.
Okay. You, get near where he was, and he's not there anymore. Because they ushered him away to the other corner. You want to, walk around to where he is?
Yeah.
You walk around the corner of the cell. You whisper Sugrami. You know her name then, eh?
Yes.
You came to whisper sweet nothings into my ear.
Just curious. I dabble in the
Are you one of her bannermen?
What?
Do you come to usher me?
I don't think so. I was just curious.
Leave me be. You watch one of the guards shut up, and jab him with the tip of the spear. Oh.
Do you want me to zone or truth this guy before we leave? I'll just throw down the zone and just walk away.
Sure, man. Go for it. I'll ask him fun questions.
Okay.
And as the guy opens his mouth, he's like, I really actually do like wine spritzers. Whoa. You told me you didn't like them. I don't know why I said that.
Sorry. Bye.
Bye. You lied to me. I invited you, and you said you didn't want to come. You didn't want to come just because my mom was there, didn't you? No, I just don't like... I really like wine spritzers. I knew it! Friendship ruined.
Oh, we're wine spritzers.
All right. You guys are ushered out, and then back to Ghurty's house you go.
Ghurty.
Everybody reconvenes. Dinner is had. Delicious sweet rolls, meat pie. I'm assuming drinks of some kind. People enjoy themselves, and it's a delicious meal to close out a delicious day. Ghurty walks out of her room as she smells the food and just the laughter and communion. Oh, it's like a whole family in my little house again. Oh, save some sweet rolls for me. I'll put some tea on.
Yes,
it is a little
please.
hot outside, but
Yes, please.
All right. You guys have a wonderful night of rest and relaxation. Are you guys planning on leaving first light the next morning to head out of town?
I give that splint to Clonus, by the way.
Okay. Clonus, free splint armor.
I would like to head out at first light.
Can I say something real quick?
No.
Yes. Don't slap.
I have to say, as we're all around the dinner table here, which is just the floor, I have to say thank you to the 8 of you.
days ago, you showed up with a dear friend of mine, Edovard, and it was quite the honor to meet all of you. And I care deeply for Eddie, and to know that he has friends such as yourself watching his back brings peace to my heart, knowing that as he's on the dusty road, there are swords beside him who will keep him safe. Don't let him die. He's important to me, and I believe that he's important to you all.
We promise nothing's gonna happen to him.
Also, thanks for saving my life. I'll get a better lock on the door.
There is no greater love than this, than to lay down your life for friends. Ilmater 911.
9/11? What a couple of numbers to
It's a book.
Wow.
Too soon. Chapter 9, verse 11.
Too soon.
Can I get a copy of that book?
Of course. I'll have to buy you one.
I would greatly appreciate that. My husband was a follower of Andraste, but I never cared for war.
How about love?
Love I can handle.
Well, love can cost us greatly, but it is always worth it. Here, this I have now.
I'll hand her a track.
This is good news.
It is great news, isn't it?
Wow. What do I call this?
Well, this is all the information on Almeta, and it is the great news that there is a God that loves you so much that he would suffer for you, just as I and others would suffer for you. Not because of us, but because of what he did first. Read it.
I will.
I'm going to make a note to see if I can find a Ilmater holy book
Okay.
for her.
His holy scripture. All right, and with that, you guys enjoy a good meal, a night of well rest, or being well rested. Is there anything real quick before you guys get a good night's sleep, or you want to pick up next time with you guys leaving in the morning?
Pick up next time in the morning?
In the morning.
Something I want to do at night.
Okay, we'll do that real quick then.
Okay. After we all split off into... Where are we staying? Are we staying here?
I'm assuming you could all stay here, like sleeping on the floor and stuff, or half you could go back to your room that you had.
I will stay.
It was Cephas, Edovard, Venora, and Holik that stayed here originally.
There
And
wasn't
the
already
rest-
a lot of room already.
There wasn't a lot of room, no. What are you guys doing? Staying here?
Daniel's still here too.
No, he's...
He left.
Oh, he did
He was like, sure, I'll stay for dinner. And then as Edovard was leaving, he tried to prank him and threw grease under his feet, ran away, and then got greased himself.
Okay.
He greased himself.
He greased himself.
Oh, you guys made me grease.
No, it would have been funny if he came crawling back and was like, can I still have dinner? But no, he didn't.
You did not
He's
fall.
not that much of a character.
You did not fall. I fall. I'll still have dinner.
He ran all the way back to Port Doreau, actually. Never stopped.
They say he's still sliding to this day.
He's still sliding to... Yeah, he's going to just dump into the port. I'm home.
Ah, the port.
My mother always said I was slimy.
My mother always said
Slimy at birth, slimy in life.
So did everybody else in the rest of my life.
Is he human?
They all called me
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. Was he human?
Yeah, he was
Okay.
human.
Where are we at now? What are we going?
I don't know.
We're
Oh,
just
Lexi's
figuring
doing
out where
something.
we were sleeping.
I'm assuming you guys split up. The four of you go back to your motel, the Tiny Pony, or the hotel, tavern, and the four of you stay here. So the four staying here are Venora, Cephas, Edovard, and Holik, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And then before I head to bed, I go out into the backyard
Okay.
just to be alone. And I try a new spell that I don't know if it was going to work or not. And I just pray to Violina and just let this one go through. And I do Cindy.
Okay.
And
So kneeling on a clear night, the stars are shining down on you. And just in front of you, on this kind of like rocky, like pad in her backyard, you see just in front of you, there's this single little flower kind of growing amongst all of this. And as you do, it's almost as if the petals of the flower turn towards you as you begin to speak, and magic flows through you. What do you...
I speak straight into the flower. I just, hey Kel, wanted to let you know I'm okay. With a new troop, kinda. We're looking out for each other. Tell everybody I love. That's the last.
Oh yeah, and it cuts. Okay. Roll a d20.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Is that good or bad?
You double send.
You double send. Yeah, you get 25 more words.
You get another 25.
Can they respond?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you like them to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, little Rose. Good to hear your voice. I miss you. Been winning in arm wrestling a lot lately. This flower smells good. Makes me think of you. We're looking after...
And it cuts out.
You have attachments to other people! Where are you from?
Then I go to bed. Very
Okay.
happy.
Who are you talking to?
I give you 133 gold and 5 silver pieces, by the way.
Oh, okay.
For the girl.
You got that much from things? Wow. That's amazing.
Okay, you guys all hit the hay. I thought maybe we'd get to travel tonight, but, you know, in-town sessions go a little long, but that's okay. It was still fun.
There was some good stuff in this one.
All right. Kill it.
Shadows rise and fires gleam of lore and legend we dare to dream. Steel in hand and hearts aflame, we carve our path, we claim our name. Raise the blade, sound the cry of lore and legend. We'll never die. We fight as one. The people's hand, their hope, their strength across the land. Darkened woods and stormy skies, the call of fate, it never lies. Through dungeon depths and dragon's roar, our tale will live forevermore. Raise the blade, sound the cry of lore and legend. We'll never die. We fight as one. The people's hand, their hope, their strength across the land. Sound the cry of lore and legend. We'll never die. We fight as one. The people's hand, their hope, their strength across the land.
these images flash through your mind.
Trains.
Trains.
Do they have trains in this world?
No.
Okay.
We make the goat armor Cephas armor too, and then I can ride Cephas when the goat passes away. So it's like right. It sits on the goat or sits on Oberon, and then it literally just like unhooks and attaches to his hip.
Yeah, that's probably not happening, but so cut all this from the edit, Levi.
Yeah,
but I have to alter reality for a second, real quick, because
You sound like the little bat from Anastasia.
I'm doing my best to go for Theo Von.
Dude, I really
Sometimes-
thought it was. I really thought that exactly what
Thank
you were doing.
you.
The moment you started, I was like, I think I know what it is.
Yeah.
There's the moments where it's in the phrases.
Yeah.
It's in the phrases.
All right.
As long as you don't make sense, it's spot on.